honest, in the beginning, did not like the logo.
Yeah. And, well, I will say it's a little bit different when you rename a team because you always have those people who are like, what are you doing? These are the Suns.
Yeah.
And there still exists.
Iceman was good. I like the Iceman. The logo was cool. Yeah, I didn't mind the Iceman. What's wrong with that?
If we did a poll right now, I bet people would. It's kind of late on it.
Yeah.
I wonder what people would say about the logo.
Okay.
My point is, I'm not saying everybody doesn't like it. I'm telling you this right here. These people.
Sure.
You people.
The ones that are passionate on social media.
You don't like anything. Like, you really don't. Like, I'm trying to think when the Armada did their thing. I thought that might have been well received, actually.
Yeah, and I thought the logo was pretty cool, too.
Somebody let me know on social media but I think overall the feeling was the Armada was kind of well received with the logo and such.
But see, once again, though, when the Armada came out, it made sense to me with the anchor and everything. Why? Because Jacksonville, they have a lot of ports. So I get that. There's a lot of ships coming in and out of Jacksonville. That was fantastic. Help me understand what the Dreamers is supposed to be.
A lot of Dreamers in Orlando.
Well,
seriously,
I think they're
hear
tying
Orlando
into
Dreamers. I think of like a charity.
So do you not like the Orlando Magic?
I like the Magic.
Well, what the hell does that have to do with Orlando?
What? Magic Kingdom?
Okay, well, Dreamers is the same way.
As in how?
Dream, Cinderella, Disney, all this stuff.
I got you. Let's go ahead and call them the Orlando Cinderellas. Done.
Dreams and Magic, aren't they the same family? Aren't they the same family, Dreamers and Magic?
I'm not a dreamer, man. I'm sorry.
And if I think baseball, I think Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
If I think of, if when you're a kid, okay, and now you're 4 years old and 5 years old, and the first time you ever say, I want to be, there are a couple things, right? I want to be a firefighter.
Sure.
Right? I dream of being a fire. When you have that first thing at preschool and you say, when I grow up, I want to be, it's a firefighter.
Yeah.
I still don't, although now it might have changed. I think a lot of people now maybe would say an NFL player.
Brent.
But I think people dream of being like a big leaguer. Like we think of the big leagues, like baseball.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is that far-fetched.
The Orlando positive thinkings or positive thoughts.
Why is this that far-fetched?
Here's the thing. I have the perfect solution. Seriously. I will come on board with Atlanta Dreamers. One little stipulation. Take the E, the R, and the S off. The Orlando Dream. Because now you can announce, here comes your dream team. See, to me, that sounds a lot smoother. Because we don't call them the Orlando Magicians. We call them the Orlando Magic.
I was saying just give it a little millennial love. Instead of an S, put a Z.
I was thinking that. You didn't like that?
Oh, no. That's even worse.
It's got a little pizzazz to it. That's got some Z's in it, too.
Make the S of money sign.
Take the E, R, and S and call it the Orlando Dream. And then you got a winner. And then I will come on board. But until that time, I can't co-sign on it.
I'm not even telling you I like it. But I'm just telling you that every time I see something new on here, nobody likes it.
Yeah. But
nobody likes it.
Be honest, though.
Do you guys like anything?
Is Dream better than Dreamers?
I think Dream is probably better, but isn't there already like the WNBA team?
Mystics?
I
don't think so. I don't know.
I feel like there's a WNBA team, or there was one, or I feel like there's something that's already the Dream.
The Atlanta Dream.
The Atlanta Dream.
Oh, sorry.
Gosh, I know my sports.
Yeah, congratulations. Take a bow. You follow WNBA. Sorry. I'll start doing some more homework. My bad. LA Sparks and New York Liberty. That's all I got for you.
Everybody.
That's all I got for you.
The WNBA. Not me. Not me. Big fan.
Oh. Brent, who won the championship this year?
It was the Washington. Washington.
Washington. The Washington
Mystics.
what? The Washington Washington? All right, you're right, though.
I'm all over this.
Washington's leading scorer?
Deladon.
MVP. Nice. From?
Oh, hold on. Was she Delaware?
Yeah, nailed it, man. Good call. Okay, Brent. Give this man a promotion.
The hell do you think I do for a living?
I guess you watch the
You're like
WNBA.
my kid right now. Like, Dad, did you see the Jags lost? No, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Obvious.
And now we get every play-by-play for the rest of the game. Oh, yeah, and this happened, and this happened.
Yeah.
No, really? Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well,
Thank God you watch SportsCenter.
Then maybe you can't have the Orlando Dream then. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I like it. I just, it's like you can't. I want to find somebody that raises their hand and says, I kind of like it. Please do. I might give you a hat. If you call in and say you actually like it and it's genuine, I'll send you a hat.
But here's the thing, though, Brent. Like, welcome to 2019, right? Like, we see this all the time on social media. No one's going to come out on social media and spend time out of their day to give something props. Unless it's like a feel-good story. You know what I'm saying? Like, take Jason Witten, for example. Take Booger McFarland now. Like, dude, Booger McFarland, every single Monday night, he's trending. And it's not for good reason. Because people love it. It's almost like a way of life now where you find something you dislike, you get on Twitter and you talk about it. That's just the way we live.
Hey, by the way, nobody likes the dream because I was offering a hat up, not a dreamer's hat. Yeah. It was more this hat, so maybe they don't like the hat.
Yeah.
But or they're not calling in.
You got to sweeten the deal a little bit.
But that's interesting. You bring up Booger, and I do not like to rip announcers.
Yeah.
So I really don't rip them.
Yeah.
But I would be lying to you if I almost did not tweet. Yeah, I didn't tweet, but I almost tweeted the other day.
Yeah.
If you dropped down from Mars and had never seen football played before, Booger would be the guy you'd want to listen to.
Okay.
Because he will Captain Obvious everything. Like, if you've ever watched a game, like late in that game, right? Yeah. There's like a minute to go. They're on their own 24-yard line, the Chargers, and they have no timeouts. And Booger, what made me think of Booger is like, what? Okay, now you're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
you're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. I'm like, Booger,
3rd and 10.
They
have to convert here. 3rd and 10, time to convert.
Yeah. We know you got to hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, for sure. But to be fair, though, like, this is why I enjoy my safe space here at ESPN 690, because everyone's like, hey, one day maybe you should be like calling an NFL game. I'm like, nah, not as long as Twitter and Facebook are around, because I say one bad thing. I say one thing where I mess up just an inkling, just an inch, and people will never let me forget about it. So
don't be
safe
so
space,
sensitive.
ESPN 690.
By the way, people rip you left and right.
They
just don't rip. They don't go right at you because they're afraid that you might beat them up.
Which is the funniest thing ever, because like outside the cage, I consider myself a giant teddy bear, but it's all good.
Well, you are. That's why I kind of rip you as much as I can.
It's all good, man, and I'll give it to you right back.
You're just outside of reach length.
Easy now. Well, for you or me, because I can still reach you.
No, you can't.
Oh, I still have the reach. Don't worry about it.
Anyway. People really don't like the Dreamers. I tried to get it just never happened.
People are like, man, I could really use a hat, but not that much.
Oh, my goodness. What's coming out of Jags headquarters today? We got folks in the locker room right now, and I'll tell you the other thing people don't like right now. Nick Foles is trending down. Yeah. Nick Foles just stopped doing press conferences. Nick Foles' patience and positivity doesn't work right now this week.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to digest. People don't like it. And we do like to be angry.
I enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it a lot.
No?
But once in a while, I like it.
Some people call it angry. I call it passionate, Brent.
Yeah, passionate. I saw somebody say, I think it was the new GM for maybe the Pirates. He got hired. And he said there's a lot of frustration. I think a lot of frustration about the Pirates organization. He said, frustration is a close cousin to passion. And I was like, oh, that speaks well around here.
Yeah. We know all about that.
That's a great quote.
We know all about that.
I got to make sure I just quoted him correctly, but I think that's what he said. I was like, I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've never heard either.
I've obviously been watching WNBA games, I guess. When we come back, we'll talk a little Jags on ESPN 690.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny and nice today. Highs in the upper 60s to around 70. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you can get 20% off store-wide, including loose diamonds with special financing, only at Beard's Diamonds.
New flavors and a rating that would make man jealous. Hey, everyone, this is Austin Lane.
And I'm Brent Martineau. Vita de Louis recently got a 98 rating. It's new, and it's getting rave reviews.
Made in Tequila, Mexico, and shipped directly to Jax Beach. Vita de Louis is available in 3 flavors.
And those flavors are Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Try all 3. Make your own recipes with Vita de Louis Tequila, one of the smoothest tequilas you will ever taste. For merchandise and more, visit VitaDeLouis.com.
What's up, Jacksonville? This is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms in Jacksonville and Orange Park. The holidays are on the rise. Celebrate with the family and friends by serving a delicious honey-baked ham on your Thanksgiving table. Throughout the entire month of November, all high hand winners will receive an 8-pound honey-baked ham. Head to either Best Bet location and pick up your Thanksgiving dinner today. For more detailed information, visit them on the web at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, where anybody can win.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker dazzles this Christmas. Bring the whole family together for the original holiday tradition. Step into a simpler time filled with sweet dreams and spectacular magic. Experience world-class artists, stunning costumes, and towering puppets on the Gift of Christmas tour. It just wouldn't be Christmas without Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. Get tickets now at nutcracker.com.
Appearing at the Florida Theater December 22nd. Get your tickets today at nutcracker.com. Locally owned and operated businesses give our community character by offering unique options for shopping and dining.
They are a big part of what makes living in the 904 so great.
Shop the 904! Powered by Cox Media Group. If you're planning to sell your home, then it makes sense to call the agent who already has thousands of families in his exclusive database of buyers and will guarantee the sale of your home in writing. And most importantly, an agent who will help you make the most money possible, right? Do yourself a favor and call Phil Aitken with the Aitken Home Team Keller Williams Realty, just like the family in Jacksonville recently did. Phil sold their home in just 3 days for over asking price after being on the market for 164 days with another agent with no luck. Phil Aitken's success rate for selling homes is remarkable because Phil already has the buyers. It makes sense. You want to sell, Phil has your buyers, which create demand and many times multiple offers. His buyers are real families looking for a home today. So take the next step and call Phil Aitken today, and please tell him you heard it right here. The easy to remember number is 500-PHIL. That's 500-PHIL, or visit philhasthebuyers.com. That's philhasthebuyers.com.
Men, are the effects of hypertension, diabetes, or prostate cancer preventing you from having a satisfying love life? In just one visit, the doctors at Prime Men's Medical Center can help you overcome ED or PE to regain your confidence and have you last longer in the bedroom. Name brand pills don't work for many men and can have serious side effects. The highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center provide custom blended medications that are safe, effective, and work immediately, regardless of your medical history or age. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. So, if you have problems in the bedroom, call now for a private consultation. One call, one visit, one simple solution to regain your love life. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Golick and Wingo.
I don't know if I've ever felt worse for a kid in the league than Josh Rosen, It's like deja vu for him. He's going through this all again. We may never know what Josh Rosen could or could not have been because of the two situations he's found himself.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Now, back to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and in the iHeartRadio app.
We're going to fight our way out. Like I told the players, take all that, pissed off, which everyone should be. Don't make it combative, but we've got to be competitive, and then obviously we've got to play well. We have to have a lot of energy, and we have to practice well.
Kind of like us.
Yep. Doug Marone said the P words. I can say that 3 times on the show.
Yes.
Yes.
You got a little blowback from saying ass 3 times in like 30 seconds the other day.
Yeah, that's one. Tally him up.
We've got 2 more for the show.
Hey,
yeah.
Look at what I really wanted to do is a segment on Kuz's vegan habits. But I just was like a little afraid if my own kids were listening.
Brent, to be honest, some people say I was cursing when I said the A word 3 times. I call it being passionate.
That's right.
There you go.
Somebody said it's okay to say that. Like, sometimes you got to say it. I mean, Doug, you're not allowed to say what Doug says all the time.
No, not at all.
Doug says the S word like 15 times in a news conference.
Sure. Yep.
At some point, he's going to be the reason I have to use the dump button.
He will. Oh, yeah. You got to be real careful with Doug. I kind of like it, though. And here's the other thing about it. I think fans like that part.
Yes.
See, and that's, again, it's all context. It's all perception. But we talked a little bit about this yesterday, right, when we were talking about kind of that disconnect or, and we had disagreement on all that. But I think fans love to say when you lose, like they want to hear a player. Now, players will be accountable. Say, we didn't play well. If you listen to Calais Campbell. But it doesn't sound the same as if you say, we bleepity stunk.
Yeah.
They want to hear that. Like if you say that, they will embrace you. Like, and that's a little bit what's going on with like Nick Foles right now. Nick Foles trying to keep this thing. He's like, oh, well, easy. I'm just like 2 weeks into this thing again. And I get it. We got to win. But he said an interesting thing today. He's like, this is where culture is built. When you, and what I think he means by that is I didn't see the whole thing, but the adversity, right? And how you respond to it and kind of, I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
but from you're asking people outside
from a Jaguars fan's perspective, who have been dealing with adversity now since I was playing.
Yes.
So like
since many of them were born.
Eventually, there should be a payoff. Coming down the road, hopefully soon. So I get that, and listen. You're absolutely right. What fans want to hear is, yes, we stink. We didn't play good. We played like, whatever you want to say. And that's really the only thing that a player can say. Because even if a football player comes out, and it doesn't matter who it is, or even a coach, and said, we didn't prepare well. We have to prepare better. Well, as soon as you say we have to prepare better, we have to attack our craft better, when you say that, the first reaction from a fan base is going to be, why haven't you guys been doing this the whole season? Like fans will immediately question, well, why didn't you prepare before? Like, what makes you think you can prepare now? So I get what you're saying there. All you can say is that, you stink or you suck and you're on to the next week. But let's be honest, you're never really going to hear that except for a few outliers out there.
Well, but I do think there's a little value today hearing Doug Marrone saying what he said. We're pissed off too. Just as much as you are outside the building, we are too. That was disgusting on tape. And it's not a consolation prize.
No.
I'm just telling you, I think those are moments like that draw a connection and say, we feel you. Because if you don't say that stuff, it's very, listen, I'm as sunshine and rainbows as they come. I could spin you a million different ways, and I don't spin it. I'm a positive guy by nature. But I can tell you, I had someone call me on Monday, be like, hey, I listened to you. It feels like you needed a little bit of a pick-me-up after listening to you on Monday. And I'm like, well, I probably did, first of all. But secondly, you can't come in and sugarcoat that stuff. No. And they know that, too, and you can't do it. And even though they have to maintain a positive vibe and a positive attitude, because if you got a bad attitude, you're going to work every day, and in this game, you're going to go get your butt whooped on Sunday in Nashville. That's not going to help. But you still have to be able to be real about it. And say when it's really bad. Like, there's one thing when, hey, we did some good things, some bad things. And in the NFL, a lot of things come down to 3 plays, right? And we didn't make those plays. Well, that was not the case on Sunday. That didn't, although I could tell you that the game could have changed on a couple of plays. The Taven Bryan won the 3rd and 19 one, which we'll describe a little bit later in the wall that says it all. But it was an embarrassment. So when you have to come out and say it, we laid an egg. And if you don't do that, then it's hard to believe almost anything else you say.
And it's the way you lost as well. And I'm looking at this more from a defensive standpoint. Where, Brent, if you go back to week 1 against Kansas City, let's be honest, the defense, that was embarrassing as well, right? Like I remember
but it's Kansas City, so you get a pass, right?
But here's the thing. So I remember, not a pass. Yeah, but I remember sitting in the press box and being like, guys, we're in the flats, and then safeties couldn't tackle, linebackers couldn't tackle. Like, it was just, guy would catch the ball, and all of a sudden, here's a 50-yard run down the field. Yeah. But the standpoint was, yes, that's Kansas City. That's who they are. But you know what also was, Brent? It was the pass game. I think it's something worse when you allow those things to happen in the run game, in the trenches, which, people still relate to football. I get it. This is a pass-first league now, and I accept that. But to me, football is still won in the trenches. And anytime that you get absolutely bodied, you get manhandled in the trenches like that, whether it's on offense or defense, to me, that's 10 times worse than losing to a team who threw all over you. Because then it's like, all right, the quarterback played well. They have, they have speed, they have weapons. But there, it's mano a mano. It's the mentality, and the mentality wasn't there this past Sunday against the Colts.
No, that's a good call too, because I think you say it all the time: stop the run the football. Yeah. But it is the principle of it, and even in this game, if I were to tell you Jacoby Brissett is going to throw for 360 yards and 4 undrafted free agent wide receivers are going to burn the Jags, you would tell me dude, you might want to quit.
Sure.
Right?
Of course.
So nobody would believe that.
Yeah.
So what the other part of that is, if they would have just stopped the run at some mid-level kind of way, you didn't think that receiving core in the passing game would burn you.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes it even more frustrating. I mean, you're right. I think you're right about the run mentality, even though it's a passing. You can almost now, like, you can win by 20 points and give up 350 yards passing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So, yeah, you can lose by 20 and give up 350 yards passing, too.
Yeah.
But it's more acceptable to your point of view. And at least if that had happened against Indianapolis, then we could always say, damn it, front office, you got rid of Jalen Ramsey. That's because of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we can't even, like, if you're a fan, you can't even use that excuse right now.
No, you
Jalen
can't.
Ramsey, he wasn't stopping anybody.
Yeah.
Not against the Colts.
No, then you took the words out of my mouth. I was getting ready to make that point where it's like, say, Brissett does throw for 4 touchdowns, 250 yards, 300 yards passing or whatever. Then I'd be like, wow, I guess a cornerback had a really bad day and maybe there's going to be some new breakout wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
But then if you turn around and you tell me that 2 Colts running backs, one guy never even heard of before until this past Sunday, goes for over 100 yards, I would say, well, no, there's no way. Like, no, I can't see the Jaguars doing that after a bye week. I think they have pride. They're pretty stout in the trenches. Well, that's what happened, man. So I think that's what makes it so more just unbelievable. And obviously going forward now against the Tennessee Titans, you don't have a lot of confidence in that defensive line or that defense as a unit.
Here's the quote that will connect people a little bit, okay? Avery Jones in the locker room today. This is coming out of the Jags locker room, but multiple media folks, including Action Sports Jax. If you've got a foot on yesterday and a foot on tomorrow, you're going to piss on today. If you've got a foot on yesterday and a foot on tomorrow, you're going to piss on today. See, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I didn't
like
either.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he's become the wise old man
Of
in that
course.
locker room.
He
Avery
kinda
Jones
is.
at 30
He's-
years old.
He's the longest tenured Jaguar there. And that quote is so great, I might start using that and not have to ask for my money that he owes me still, because that was maybe worth the money right there. I'm going to start using that.
Well, I think that's the story out of there. A lot of people saying, I'm putting that on my wall.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a pretty good one. So, but it does give you their mentality. And it goes back to what we were saying yesterday, like that mentality versus everybody else's mentality. Different workplace. Like I feel like sometimes I do this in my own job where I'm looking at the weekend and we maybe have a show and I'm like, all right, well, I'll figure out the Tonight Show from 3 minutes on CBS 47 and Fox 30 in a little bit, but I got to worry about this half hour. They don't do that in the NFL. You don't do that in sports. As an athlete, you're trained not to. You're trained to look at right now. I'm not even thinking about Sunday. I think so, at least.
No, you're absolutely right there. And I want to cut you off, but at the same time, Brent, NFL players in this league, whether it's when I played or when they play now, the biggest thing that they have going for them, well, it's actually 2 things. It's their pride and it's their ego, because they wouldn't be in the league right now if they didn't have those 2 major characteristics. Yeah. And when we talk about pride and ego, that Colts game, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic, that was an embarrassment, okay? Especially to their defensive line and their defense as a unit. And anytime you get embarrassed like that, that affects your ego and pride. So I get what Avery's saying. You have to focus on tomorrow, because guess what? Now you have a very capable Tennessee Titans team, and you're playing in the 4 o'clock slot now, national television. You have to get ready to go with that. But in the back of your head, as you're watching this Titans film, as you're watching Derrick Henry do his thing, on the film and everything, in the back of your head, you got to be like, we got our asses kicked against the Indianapolis Colts, and this can't happen again, because my pride and my ego will not allow it. So I guarantee that Colts game is still in the back of their minds.
Well, pride and ego on the line this Sunday against Derrick Henry. How good is Derrick Henry now? I mean, how good of a football player is this guy? Is he just a once in every few week kind of guy? Is he just that tough bulldozer to bring down? Or is he turned into one of the elite backs in the NFL that Tennessee has seemingly built their entire offense around the kid from Yulee? So you speak of pride, the pride of Yulee. We'll talk about him next. How good is Derrick Henry? Where does he fit in the landscape of running backs? Remember, everybody thought coming out of high school this guy was a linebacker. He's done all right for himself in Tennessee. And, of course, before that as a Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama. A little Derrick Henry talk. And, oh, my goodness, how are the Jags going to tackle him on Sunday if they couldn't tackle the Colts backs? That's a mystery they're trying to answer right now at Jags headquarters. We'll talk about it next on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week. Every Friday, hear a local high school football play-by-play.
Everybody all fired up here at the Graveyard. Griffin's in the backfield once again.
Same play.
The Vikings give it to Griffin over the left side. He'll walk into the end zone. And the Reigns Vikings win the football game over the Sandalwood Saints in overtime on a 2-point conversion.
They just went big on little and basically took care of business.
You can hear the games by listening in your car to ESPN 690 or find the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Just search ESPN 690 Jax.
Thanksgiving. It's all about being thankful for the good things in life, huh?
Yeah. Hey, boys, I got an idea. How about we start a new tradition by naming the things we're thankful for?
Okay, I'll start. I'm thankful that the house we just robbed had a ton of expensive jewelry and fine silverware.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm thankful that they had a big blue alarm instead of Safe Touch.
Now, why'd you have to mention them?
Well, I'm thankful we didn't have to deal with the Safe Touch two-way communicator or their 45-second or less response time. Boss, I'm just thankful that we've decided to stay away from Safe Touch houses, especially now that they have video monitoring.
Would you stop? You are ruining my thankfulness.
I mean, the best technology and the lowest price. It's just not fair. Hey, boss, pass the cranberry sauce, will you?
At Safe Touch, we don't claim to be the largest alarm company, just the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
There are many paths to take to launch a successful small business. The first step is to start with a good roadmap, such as a business plan. If you need help putting one together, let one of the mentors at SCORE help. Since 1964, SCORE has been assisting aspiring and current entrepreneurs through a nationwide network of 10,000 volunteers with expertise in many different fields. In the Jacksonville area, our mentors can meet with clients at 6 different locations. If you want to schedule a free confidential appointment, go to jacksonville.score.org.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to...
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
I'm Dr. Eric Kim at the Heekin Clinic. I've dedicated my career to helping eliminate joint pain many patients suffer every day. At the Heekin Clinic, we use the most advanced surgical and non-surgical techniques, including robotic-aided knee replacement, which has produced outstanding results for our patients. I'm excited to be part of the Heekin Clinic team and look forward to helping the patients in Northeast Florida live a pain-free life.
The Heekin Clinic, a full-service orthopedic surgical practice specializing in knees and hips. Log on and search for Heekin Clinic today.
If only Toyotathon was good on used cars, too, huh? Wait just a minute. It is. Toyotathon is on, even on used, when you shop at Arlington Toyota. With over 400 pre-owned on the lot every day and 60 vehicles priced at under $12,000, you know where you're going to find the ride that's just right. It's at Arlington Toyota. Did you know with every pre-owned purchase at Arlington, you join the club? The Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club. It's filled with savings, benefits, and rewards to take your Arlington purchase to the next level. Just think about it. When you buy pre-owned from Arlington, you get Toyotathon savings even on used, plus the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club, plus top dollar for your trade, plus same model year cars, trucks, and SUVs. So I gotta ask you, what are you waiting for? It's time to save at Arlington. Toyotathon is on, even on pre-owned. When you shop at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
How have binoculars and just the general discomfort that comes with using binoculars, how have we not improved that?
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Really, it's a lot. It's everything. It's not just the linebackers. We've got to do. It starts up front. We've got to do a better job up front, and then it gives us a better opportunity to do a good job at the second level, and then obviously at the next level. So, we've got to attack blocks. We've got to get off blocks. That's what everyone has to do, and then we have to tackle well. So, it's not just one group, one unit. I mean, we all have to do that better.
Now that's a little coach speak.
Yeah.
And that's okay. He's not going to call everybody out. But what do you think if I had to, and you're a defensive lineman by trade, but if you had to go in there and say defensive line, linebackers, safeties.
Who am I calling out the most?
In that game Sunday.
Man.
Giving up 264 yards.
I mean, honestly, it was so bad where it's hard to pinpoint one group. But if it's me, the ones that stood out, and I'll be honest, defensive linemen, they get off the hook a little bit because it's hard to some kinds gauge what's happening, in the trenches and things like that.
What kind of games they're playing.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
So from that perspective, I'm going linebackers.
Yeah, and I would say linebackers from this, and we're going to show this a little bit on the wall that says it all, or at least talk about it a little bit, and that is, I said it 2 times I saw in that game where I was like, please call timeout, somebody. Please call timeout because they're not even lined up, and one was right down to the goal line on a 4th down play.
When it's so important to be on the same page, when you have to be ready. It's 4th and 1 on the goal line.
And I don't know how fair it is to pick one guy out, but it's like we do with the quarterbacks. And Miles Jack's the quarterback of that defense. So you got to get people lined up. And if that's still an issue, there's too many guys that have played too many downs together on that football team in this scheme together for a long time to be discombobulated. So I would pin it on the linebackers too. And I understand now Najee Good hasn't been around, but he's a 9-year vet. To me, there's no excuse to not be lined up.
You're absolutely right.
Or not to call a timeout.
I can see if the Colts come out in some exotic formation we've never really seen before. It's like, where are we supposed to go? Do we call on the right side or left side for the strong side? This was a base formation on a 4th and 1 on the 1-yard line going into the end zone. You have to be ready. There's no excuse for it, Brent.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the Jaguars get to play him on Sunday. I think everybody in Jacksonville is nervous on what that could look like. And not even from a win-loss, stop-slow standpoint. It's more, I do not want to see what happened on that Thursday night ever happen again, and even if it's on a Sunday afternoon. But after last week, and 3 times over 200 yards this season, Houston, Carolina, and now the Colts, we haven't even listed the Titans. Can you imagine if we come in here on Monday? Now, this is where if I'm the owner of the football team, I might make a move. If in the 3 most important games against the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans, they were to give up over 200 yards rushing, I don't know how you survive that, quite frankly. I don't know how everybody survives that on a Monday morning in Jacksonville. I don't know how you survive that. And I don't know how I could defend it if I'm the staff, if I'm the players, if I'm the owner, if I'm the anything. So, but that's what they're on pace for, They're on pace to give up they've given up almost 500 yards rushing the last 2 weeks, both to divisional opponents in critical games. And now you get the best running team of all to play Sunday.
I mean, take the critical games out of it. If any team does that, because Brent, I can't name another team right now, even the Miami Dolphins or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's done that.
Well, the Bucs have actually been very good against them.
Yeah, correct. But I can't think of another team. And it's obviously it's even worse and it's multiplied because it's against your division opponents. But if you have another game, Brent, where you give up 200 yards rushing, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, but I would not even wait till the plane got to Jacksonville. I honestly wouldn't. It would be in the locker room where some changes had to be made because that's unheard of to give up back-to-back Tommy Namsky 200-yard games to the running back. You just can't do it.
That would be a great stat. Somebody Find
boy.
that stat.
Yeah.
Stat boy, you got that stat?
Get out of the basement. Hope you're okay. I hope they're feeding you. And let's get some stats going in here again.
I love how you treat stat boy.
Well, that's what I picture. Sorry. It's my imagination.
Which makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
But has anybody ever given up 200 plus 3 games in a row in the NFL? I'm sure it's happened. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. One team, though.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not asking has a team run for 200 plus in a game. I'm saying, and that would be 3 different opponents. I'm talking about the same defense giving up 200 plus. Because here's what does happen. And I'm convinced of this, by the way. I don't think they'll give up 200. You know why? Because all week they're talking about missed tackles and angles. Missed tackles and angles. And it will be such a focal point.
Yeah.
That they might give up 250 in the passing game, but they are not going to do it in the run game.
The same thing happened after Carolina.
Same thing happened. And it does. It happens. That's why it's attention to detail at the end of the day, man. It's got to be. Because when you put that attention to detail on it, both from a coach's and a player's perspective, it seemingly gets resolved. Now, we'll see this week. We have to still see what happens. Derrick Henry. How did you feel about him coming out of college as an NFL player?
Yeah.
Probably surprised. He surprised a lot of people winning the Heisman Trophy, as good as he was with Alabama. But I think also people are like, well, that's Alabama, man. I could run for a couple 100 yards for Alabama. Look at that offensive line.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about him coming out, and how impressed are you with what he's been able to do in a Titans uniform?
Where was he drafted again, real quick? Like what round?
I want to say that was a second-round draft pick.
Okay.
I should know that, by the way, but I'm pretty sure he was a second-round draft pick, maybe around like 45.
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't mean to kind of put you on the spot there, but
I like
it. Yeah, so what did I think when he came out? And I mean, obviously I knew him from college, right? So he was the big-time player in college. He had the Heisman Trophy. Didn't know about him in Jacksonville because I was completely unaware. He grew up around the area. But from my perspective, I'll be honest with you, Brent, I thought he was a big, oversized running back. And if we look at the history right now of like the Eddie Lacy's, the Kenyon Drakes, the Trent Richardsons, of the Alabama running backs, great college careers, not so great NFL careers, right? So from that perspective, I thought, what's up?
Guess what pick he was? Number 45.
Good call, man. Nailed
I'm on
it.
a roll today.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to interrupt.
No, you're
but
fine.
I got to do a little fist bump.
No, you're all good, man. But my point is basically like, yes. So Derrick Henry, I didn't think he was going to really exceed expectations. I thought he would be, kind of like a LeGarrette Blount, maybe like using the goal line package and things like that. But I didn't see him. Complimentary back. Thank you.
Feature
perfect.
back.
Yeah, that's a perfect thing. Well, and to be fair, the past 3 or 4 years, they had Deion Lewis as well. So Derrick Henry was the starter, but Deion Lewis was kind of like the third down complimentary back.
Did Deion Lewis do much with them?
No, well, he's still playing for him.
I mean, but has he, though?
No, and then this is kind of my point, where, Deion Lewis, when he played in New England, he was that dude. New England's got a slew of running backs, but he was successful in New England. He comes to Tennessee. They make him the third down back, and let's be honest, he kind of took some carries away from Derrick Henry. Well, last year, specifically against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Derrick Henry just goes off. Highlight after highlight after highlight. And in doing that, that took some of Deion Lewis's reps away. So now let's fast forward to this year, because let's be honest, Derrick Henry's having a great season. And now they're getting him involved in the pass game a little more. They're turning him into a bell cow.
Yeah, they are doing that.
Yeah, so from that perspective,
13 catches. I mean, doesn't have 35 like Leonard, but
let's be honest though. I mean, that's more than I think he's had. Well, I think he's on pace right now to have the most catches he's ever had in his career.
15 is his high.
Yeah. So from that perspective, I think they're trying to turn him into that bell cow. Now, I'll be honest. If I'm the offensive coordinator, if I'm Ryan Tannehill, I'm getting Derrick Henry the ball in space on the passes as well.
Yeah, screenplay is perfect.
Because the first pass he caught this season, 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I remember that.
No big deal. So I think now we're at the point with Derrick Henry where I think he's dropped a little weight. He looks quick. He looks elusive. Obviously, he's still a powerful runner. I think that guy can beat you in a lot of different ways. He's not just this bruiser running back that you picture when he got drafted. He's kind of this jack of all trades now that's very good all around the football field.
We're going to talk to Steve Lehman from Nashville, who visits us once in a while, especially before Titans games.
Oh, guess what? I saw him on TV, too, in Murray State, because I guess Murray State covers like the Nashville media.
Oh,
or whatever. Like,
Nashville, they get Nashville
so
media?
When I was in the hotel. I saw him. I'm like, I recognize that dude.
He's coming on Friday.
Swag. Okay.
I talked to him last night. He's going to come on Friday.
Sweet.
And I'll ask him this just to verify, but I'm pretty sure there was talk, maybe trade deadline of last year, or at least the early part of last year, where they were like, it's time to move on from Derrick Henry.
Sure.
It's time to maybe give him a change of scenery. This isn't working. And then something clicked, and that included that huge night against the Jags.
It was the Jacksonville game that clicked.
Well, he had started to play a little bit better prior to that, if my memory serves me correct. And then, bam.
That was the breakout game.
And ever since then, I mean, he's been unbelievable. It's almost like they figured out how to use him in a weird way. You know, like they were like, well, we don't have to just use him on 3rd and 1. And I don't know that. I'm just saying that showcase, like, hey, he's more than just this, go get me 2 yards back.
Sure.
Go get me that goal line stuff back. Let's forget about the Dion Lewis experiment. Forget about all this other stuff.
I like the experience better. I like that.
Let's just ride with Derrick Henry.
Sure.
And it feels like that's what they've done. And now if you look at this, again, slow start to the career. It's not like he's on pace to break Emmitt Smith's record here. 490 yards, 744 yards in 17, but then the 1,059. So he has a 1,000-yard season, 4.9 yards per attempt. And now this year he's got 832. So he's on pace to really,
over 1,000 again,
he's got
obviously.
6 games. He's on pace to have his best year yet. 4.4 a carry. He's got 8 touchdowns this year. Last year he did have 12 touchdowns. So he's getting in the end zone too. They are utilizing him in those tight packages, those goal line packages. And it just feels like to me, especially with their poor quarterback play, that an offense that was built around Marcus Mariota is now built around Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and this is really the first year since the start of the season where they're giving him all the reps, right? Because like I said, Dion Lewis was kind of splitting reps with Derrick Henry last year until that Jaguars game, it seemed like. And that's the thing, with the Jaguars. Like, yes, to me, Derrick Henry had his coming out party against Jacksonville. Now, all of a sudden, Tennessee's like, well, wait a second. Maybe we have something here. Well, what happened this past weekend against the Colts? Marlon Mack breaks his hand. Any other week Marlon Mack breaks his hand against an NFL team, they're like, oh, man, well, there goes our season. We lost Andrew Luck, and now Marlon Mack's going to be out with a broken hand for a little bit. We're screwed. Oh, here comes Jonathan Williams, over 100 yards rushing. Everyone's like, Marlon, who? Who was that again? No, we got Jonathan Williams now. Oh, what's up? You're not on the Jonathan Williams train? Well, you better get on because it's leaving the station because now everyone's hyping up Jonathan Williams over one game. And the same thing happened last year against the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry.
I mean, they got nothing behind those guys. I'm trying to look. I mean, it's just Derrick Henry and Dion Lewis, really.
Yeah.
And so... But who knows? Jags defense made that nothing something last week. So anyway, it's all about Derrick Henry. I mean, is it as simple as that this week? And we'll talk more about the game as we go along. But
well, listen, it is about Derrick Henry.
Can they beat you any other way? Delaney Walker? I mean, is that it?
Well, here's the thing. So Delaney Walker, he's been out for 6, 7, 8 weeks now.
He's always hurt.
He's always hurt, but he's slated to come back this week. And if that's the case, you got to keep in mind, because when he's healthy, Brent, and if he can go 100%, he can beat you. He's beat the Jaguars before. So you got to keep an eye on Delaney Walker, and also Corey Davis is coming back now too. A.J. Brown, the rookie receiver out of Ole Miss. By the way, A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, pretty legit guys,
pretty
right?
Good.
Yeah. From that perspective, I think that the tension right now is on A.J. Brown because he's been doing very well, but you can't sleep on Corey Davis either, a former first-round pick out of Western Michigan, and I know he's trying to have a game where he's going to feast, but obviously this offense revolves around Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and Delaney Walker did practice on a limited basis today, coming back from the ankle. Very small injury report for the Tennessee Titans as well. So we'll talk more about this football game going forward, and obviously, I don't even know if we put it in the big category anymore. I don't even know if people feel like it's just like now you need a win. I don't know what the win means. You just need a win. And I think it would mean something to the folks here to sweep Tennessee. It's been such an eyesore. At least do that. Quick question for you. If you had to pick a running back, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette, who are you taking? It's a hard one, I know. I believe I'd take Leonard Fournette. Mm-hmm. For the long haul, for the long term, I think there's more there. Okay. Sorry, Derek. Fair enough. I know I kind of put you on the spot there, but that was my goal. Yeah. That's a good question. I agree with you. I think take Fournette as well. Good question. When we come back, we're going to talk something we haven't talked maybe on the show yet. Maybe a little bit. We just talked WNBA. Nah, something else next on ESPN 690.
It's Golick and Wingo.
The Texans as an organization haven't done a great job of building an offensive line. They haven't been able to sort of address the position. They get somebody coming in that they have proof of concept on. They know exactly how good they can be. Yes, they give up assets to do it, but the key to the Texans right now is they've got to look at the window and say, hey, no Andrew Luck means this is our division for the taking. They weren't going to find a better player in the draft next year if they wanted a left tackle.
You're waiting around too long and reacting.
Golick and Wingo, weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
The holidays are on the horizon. That means family and food. Hey, everybody, I'm Brent Martineau. Let Renna's Pizza help you out. Parties at school, parties at work, celebrations, or maybe you're just tired of cooking yourself. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Want a fresh one? Renna's makes everything fresh. New York-style pizza, sandwiches, salads, and pasta dishes. Everything fresh. Find out why Renna's has been a family favorite for over 40 years. 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach.
What's up, Jacksonville? This is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms in Jacksonville and Orange Park. Head to either Best Bet location November 30th for a chance to win $12,000. Jump in a cash game at either location for a monster high hands. The player with the highest hand between noon and 6 p.m. will receive $6,000. Stick around. The high hand will reset, and the player with the highest hand between 6 p.m. and midnight will also receive $6,000. For more detailed information, visit them on the web at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, where anybody can win.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Thank you for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. Everyone is loving our in-depth coverage of the Jaguars, the NFL, and all things sports. Another thing our listeners will love, your business. Let's work together and get you on the fastest growing sports station in Northeast Florida. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 904-245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Golick and Wingo.
I think my jersey was one of the top-selling jerseys around the world, and I didn't make $1 from it, but nor did I want to.
I respect Tim Tebow. I respect his opinion. I love his passion. I just could not disagree with it more.
Golick and Wingo. Weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
We just got to keep hustling, working, getting off blocks better, taking on blocks and getting off it. I think the one thing you see is that we got guys coming up and guys covering us up last week, and we weren't able to get off blocks. So I don't know if it's a matter of athleticism or whatever it may be, but I think it's just a matter of when someone's coming at you, you got to take them on and get off. And that's the one thing we're not doing very well.
No, they are not. That would help stopping the run and tackling better to get off some blocks. And we'll show you that on the wall that says it all coming up in just a little bit. We'll do that at 4:30 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane here on a Wednesday edition of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. And right now joined by Nathan Walter, Jacksonville Armada President, General Manager. What's happening, man?
Very good.
Yeah, good to have you in and talking a little soccer, but some big news actually in the last week or so we're going to get to with the land agreement, possible stadium. We did compliment the logo of the Jacksonville Armada and the nickname, though, earlier in the show. We just want to let you know.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
And you weren't even in the building yet, so we didn't even know that. It wasn't influenced.
It was coming from an honest place in my heart, Brent.
It was.
Yes.
And I think that was you guys got so we're talking about the Orlando Dreamers and the idea of Major League Baseball, and it's getting bad feedback, but you guys got a ton of good feedback when the Armada was the nickname, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did quite the search for it, and we really communicated with the community, and the community had a real buy-in to it. I want to say that process went on for about 2 to 3 months.
Wow.
And we ran a couple of competitions, and people really got into it. And I can actually tell you it was out of Admirals or Armada.
Oh,
and it fell. We obviously made a decision in the end, And the Armada was just a clear winner out of both of them. But the community picked both of those names. So
Admirals would have made a lot of sense. Could you have done the same logo with Admirals, or would it have been totally different?
I think you could have. But so here it is. So we're sitting in a conference room, right? And we're looking at these two names. And I came from a player perspective standpoint. And I said, if I'm a player standing in the dugout, ready to walk out, and I said, go Admirals, or I said, go Armada, I just felt there was more of that strength for the Armada, and I felt, and I looked at it from a player's perspective, obviously.
Yeah.
But, the Armada just gave so much more strength and determination. So that was a kind of nice little thing. It was nice to be a part of those days, for sure.
That's pretty cool. That's actually, in a difficult kind of complicated process, that's a very simplistic view, and sometimes simple wins the day.
That's the most important part, That's what the athletes want to think about.
Yeah,
that's a great perspective to have.
That's really good. All right, how much do you hold, like, say, Orlando was making this today, right? The jumbo shrimp changed. Go all the way back to the Jaguars when they were announced. How much is someone involved that heavily in it? The night before you're about to launch it, do you not sleep and hope that it's well received?
I have to say, we were so prepared. Like, the front office at the time did such an amazing job. We had a gentleman called Matt Varecchia, part of the marketing team, and he had literally, I was one of the first employees, and a couple of weeks later, he was employed. And that was a year before we even announced the team. So we had so much preparation to get it right and to understand what the market wanted. So I have to say, he probably wouldn't say it, but I would have imagined he slept pretty well that night, knowing that all his work had been done.
The hay was in the barn.
Yeah.
Hey, before I get to the big news of the last week and what this could mean, because I think it's big news and fun news. What's going on with the Armada? Now? Like, where are you guys at? There's been so much change with the league, with what your plan is, you guys' vision, that it's almost it's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. What's the latest?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a reason for that. We have been through the rough seas, as they say, right? Some really rough seas, in fact. And a lot of it's kind of been out of our control, which has been the really frustrating part of this. When Robert Palmer came in and took over the club, 90 days later, the league was desanctioned from U.S. soccer. So can you imagine as an owner, you've just taken over an organization and you're excited, and he was. And we got 7,500 that last game in the NASL, and it was rocking. UNF was unbelievable. It was so much fun. And then to be desanctioned, it was a heartbreak. And as you know, Brent, there's two different types of soccer in America. There's the normal franchisee American sport way, and then there's the independent soccer way, where we own our players, we own our club, we own our intellectual property, and so on. And there wasn't an option for independent soccer to survive. But what it did, it really enabled us to press the reset button and really look at things. And we obviously have the Armada Youth Academy, where we have over 3,500 kids, and that's knee deep in the community.
That's been very successful.
Very successful at all levels, community levels to competing at the elite level, bringing home national championships. The girls have brought home national championships. We have an unbelievable girls program in Jacksonville. And so the Youth Academy's there. And then, because the pro team had to have this reset button, we refocused on the U23s. So we've always had a U23 college season in the summer where we bring college players from all over the country and existing players that have been in market that can go to college and have the opportunity to come back and train and be in our environment. So we have the U23s this year, and as we talk about the next steps, it's going to be exciting to where the Armada goes next. So
Nathan Walter, president and GM of the Jacksonville Armada, with us here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. By the way, we thank you, Jacksonville Armada, for all their support of our Action Sports Jacks Dream 18 over the last couple of years. Always come out. We love to have the sports teams out there, and always a fun stop on the golf course. Get to kick a soccer ball around a little bit, too, and some swing and miss, and some pull hamstrings and things like that. But speaking of, where we were talking about this a little bit in the break, where would Austin fit? Like, this is like, it's now like Austin's Where's Waldo to a degree. Like, where would you put him? Like, we're trying to get him skating with the Icemen. He's going to play with the Jacksonville Giants January 25th. And, I mean, he's already played for the Jags. See, that's one that we all can't do, right? We can't do that. We're not doing that. But where would he fit?
Yeah, well, like I said, I was profiling him as soon as I met him. And I'm thinking, I see a centre back every day of the week in him. But he's good with his hands, so he may be good in goal.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards.
That's where you lean to.
6'6"?
Tall, 6'6", got good frame, good structure. He's fearless. I mean,
love those adjectives Ben describing me. Yeah. And you know what? I don't have to do a lot of kicking. Like, I mean, a little bit, obviously, as a goalie, but as a center back, I feel like there's more kicking involved, and that kind of make me nervous.
And after your training, you can't feel your shins anyway.
That's a good point, man. Shins
Shin
are
conditioning.
dead. Shin
They're
conditioning.
dead.
Yep, they're dead.
Don't go anywhere. The big part of what we have you in here talking about, a possible stadium downtown, different than the one that's already downtown. That's gone under the radar, but could be on the horizon. Next on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This just in, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Young Masuk reporting that Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard plans to play tonight against the Celtics. He was out the last 3 games with a knee contusion. 10 Eastern, ESPN TV. Game would mark Kawhi's debut alongside teammate Paul George. Today at the owners' meetings, Astros owner Jim Crane chose not to discuss MLB's investigation into sign-stealing allegations surrounding his team. While discipline beyond the standard fine and loss of amateur draft picks might deter some teams in the future, others might think winning a title's worth the risk, notes ESPN's Jeff Passan.
Maybe teams look at it and say, okay, $2 million, a few draft picks, some international players, my GM and my manager, would I trade that for a ring? And I think almost every one of them, the answer is going to be yes.
Jeff Passan on the ESPN Daily Podcast. NFL Brown star pass rusher Myles Garrett has his appeal hearing today over his indefinite suspension for hitting Steelers QB Mason Rudolph in the head with a helmet on Thursday night.
Brought to you by Little Caesars, where you can get a large thin crust pizza topped right to the edge with cheese and pepperoni, and only $6.49 at participating Little Caesars locations, plus tax where applicable.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30. Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anna Jar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Common theme has been when we haven't been able to stop the run is we haven't been able to get off blocks, or we haven't been in the right spot, and a lack of tackling.
Well, the Jags know the problem. Now they have to fix the problem. Stop the run. We'll see if they can do it Sunday. We'll talk more about it. We'll get the ball that says it all coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're also planning to have Ryan O'Halloran on at 5 o'clock, talk around the NFL. So a lot more to get to. Right now, happy to be joined our continued conversation with Nathan Walter, Jacksonville Armada president and general manager, having good discussions in the break, trying to sign Austin Lane up for a goalie or at least as a workout player.
I'm not going to do that to myself, man. I feel like that would be embarrassing for me, from my standpoint.
We were talking, though, I did not realize this, that you guys have the GPS systems. Like the Jags have GPS systems. But the Jags, like the NFL's the Rolls Royce, man. Right. I mean, the stuff that they spend money on in the NFL is like, normal people don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And normal organizations might not do that.
To kind of set the scene real quick, my rookie year, we had these pills that we would swallow. And what it did was you swallow the pill, it goes in your stomach, and then they can come by with like a scanner, and they can see what your body temperature is. Each pill that we took, and keep in mind, it's 90 guys in training camp, each pill cost $100. And then it just goes, in the toilet, and then you have to take a new one the next day. So from that perspective, you're spending that much money per day, for the entire training camp. Yeah, there's a lot of money being spent for stuff like that.
Well, I just know how many gummy worms I had on the team playing, and I wasn't even part of the roster.
Well, are those complimentary though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
paying
saying.
for those. I bet
That's
you
what
were.
I'm saying. It was
I bet you
complimentary.
were.
I know how much I ate, and I'm not even part of the team.
What happened to no sugar?
No, that was a while ago.
Okay.
That's why I'm on no sugar now.
I bet it was.
Hey, why do you think I did no sugar now? Because I'm not traveling with the team at all this month.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why I did it.
I got you.
But you have the GPS stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the players must love that stuff. I mean, life is a video game now.
Oh, it is.
Right?
Everybody's the modern world's data evolved. Everybody wants to know it. Everybody wants to see their metrics, how many miles I ran. And, our players are running anywhere from 7 up to 9 miles a game. It's just unbelievable.
You got to ask yourself, why the heck would you play soccer?
I know, right? Well, and from that perspective, too.
7 to 9 miles a game.
From that perspective during a game, I mean, are you looking at those analytics and saying, all right, this guy's ran maybe a little more than we want him to, and do you use that information to take somebody out?
So there's so many data points now. So one of it is tactical, right? You can look at it tactically. The way that the Jacksonville Armada, how we want them to play, it's high pressing, intense, sprinting to press players down. So we get to see those metrics from a tactical standpoint. Are the players doing that? Are they achieving that? And then the second piece is, right, what's their loads? What do the loads look like? Are they over their load for this week? Is there risk of injury? You can do all these algorithms and work out that, like, potentially a player could pull a hamstring at this point. Like, there's so many algorithms and stuff that you can work out. And we had a top head of sports performance and science that unfortunately had to move on while we go through this transition, but we hope to bring him back one day, right?
Yeah.
And but he was unbelievable. A Brazilian guy, actually worked at JU, did a little bit there as well, and just understood it and worked it out. And I'll tell you this, Brent, we the first year we had 28 muscle injuries. When we implemented this system, when we brought Gabe Zapponi as the head of sports performance and science for us, we had 4 muscle injuries the next year.
Wow.
And it saves you the cost of the medical bills and everything just for some of these, so the technology is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't lie, right? I mean, it's fascinating. Those kind of numbers don't lie, and if you know what to do with them, and that's the thing. You've got to know what to do with them, and it sounds like you guys do. Nathan Welter, President and General Manager of the Jacksonville Armada, with us. And so the big news these last couple of weeks is this land agreement to hopefully build a stadium. And we heard about this years ago, the idea, right to build. Right. And I think also to, as part of that, even put some offices up and everything else. And, well, it's starting to come to fruition. It sounds like, you told me today, it was introduced to the council committee this week, be fully introduced to the city council next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, yeah.
What does that all mean in layman's terms?
Yeah.
Is this going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to our lovely city council members to vote on it, right? We've agreed terms with the mayor's office and his staff. The mayor's committee budget, review committee budget, approved it, right? So now that goes to the committees at the city council. They review it. I've met with numerous. We still have many meetings to happen to make sure everybody's happy and content with it. And then it will go to city council on Tuesday, and it just depends when they're ready to say, you know what, we vote on it, let's do it. And hopefully it's before Christmas. Maybe not. It may move into the new year, but yeah. So that's it. That's exciting.
That's exciting, man. It's getting close.
Well, and I have to ask you, Nathan, I mean, you're great with the player's perspective. You were a player, and from the player's perspective, how important is it to have just a place to play to call your own, right? To have your own stadium to say, yes, I play here. I don't share with anybody else. This is my home.
Yeah, I have two perspectives now. So I have the player side and now I have the business side, right?
Sure.
And from the player side, it's everything. It is everything to have. We have not been able to call a place our true home since we started in 2015.
Started out with the baseball grounds.
Right, the base,
UNF.
And we've had to jump and so from a player perspective, yes, you want your own place. You know where you come in every morning. You know what you're working with. You're using your own stuff. Like, absolutely. And then from the business standpoint, it's everything. I mean, there is no stability if we do not have a home. And, as I've really grown into this president role and to understand the business side of the sports and everything that comes with it, none of this makes sense if we do not have a home.
Yeah. So it looks like it's on a good track. Say it gets done early next year or in terms of the approval or maybe next week. Then what? Like, how long are we looking? And tell everybody where it is exactly.
Yeah. So the site is in what we would call the Sports Entertainment District. It's just on the north side of the Arlington Expressway. So there's Lot XX, Lot Y, and Lot W, which is an outer parking lot for anything downtown, the Jags games, the arena, anything. And we've identified that plot of land as a great land and a piece of property that not only we want to be a part of the sports family, right? We're Jacksonville Armada. We want to be a part of the sports scene in Jacksonville. And so that was important on that piece. But also, we wanted to be a community catalyst and to help, with the East Side community down there. There's many things that we can talk about that, but we really wanted to be a catalyst for not redevelopment, but rejuvenation within the area.
Building infrastructure helps that area, those areas. And for the longest time, and I don't know if it's still the case, but they would build, especially spring training facilities, say in the state of Florida, in areas that needed rejuvenation, needed redevelopment, needed to get a spark. And it would, I think in some places it helped, some places it didn't. I don't know if they still subscribe to that theory because the minor league baseball thing and the spring training complexes have all changed. But that's the way it used to be. So there's evidence there that at least in history, some of these structures that go in, teams that come in, can certainly revitalize an area like that.
We want to be a community advocate for those people. We want to be able for them to lean on us and us to help them. And and I know there's some great community people in that area. I'm excited. This Friday, the Visit Jacksonville is doing something at Hamilton Park. We're going to be there to do Q&As, and then on Monday I'm going to meet with the East Side group, the community group there, and discuss more. And we globally, soccer clubs are known for this community engagement, this to be a whole part of the community, and that's what we want to achieve here and be a part of that. So it's important. Yeah, it's a great, for us, it's the perfect location for us to really affect the community.
That's awesome. I hope it all works out and goes through. And I think of it from a bigger standpoint. I'm sure you guys have too. It doesn't take me. I'm the dummy here. But I think of it, when I think downtown, I think of what else comes down. It's another thing downtown, right? It's part of the big thing why the Iceman came here. More events downtown. Whatever does happen with Lot J, all this revitalization and development downtown, I'm a huge fan of it in general. And I know there's a lot in between there. I'm just telling you, I'm a huge fan of it. It's not a political thing. I want to see it happen. I think it's good for the city. But you build something like this, and what I start to think of is how many youth events you could have there. How many, maybe, do you get the high school football state championships to come there, or the high school soccer state championships, where they're always looking. This year, the high school football state championships were up for bid. And where are you going to put them in Jacksonville right now? Could you put them at UNF? Yeah. Could you put them at JU?
Yeah, but it's hard to justify it.
Well, so they're in Daytona and in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So not everybody's throwing all their money in for that. So I'm not saying it happens, but things like that can happen if you have another place that's of reasonable size, right?
Right. So the great thing about a soccer field and a soccer-specific stadium, the field is big enough to enable all those sports: lacrosse, American football, field hockey, whatever it could be. And it gives us, we do not have a facility in Northeast Florida that gives us that 5,000 to 10,000, like, I don't even want to call it soccer specific, but like neutral ground where we can host those events. We can have high schools, we can do all of that. I was I met with a gentleman last week. The Rugby League World Cup is coming to America in 23-24. Wow. He's like, look, this could be a great opportunity for us to bid to host the Rugby World Cup in 23-24. You have the stadium, or we could have the stadium, right? Yeah. We could be in a position to start bidding for these events. You're 100% right. So
yeah, and I think about it, 23-24, what does downtown look like? That's not that far away, but it's also far enough away where you could get some serious development, which might include a new stadium for the Jacksonville Armada. Hey, good luck with it, man. That's awesome. I think it's great stuff. I think it's good and good. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's easy for the Armada to have. You could have folded the tent.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that you've kept, I don't know if everybody knows about it, the underbelly of this alive without necessarily in the public eye as much, but the underbelly to be able to do all this stuff, hopefully in the, near future.
And that comes down to Robert, honestly. His commitment to the community, that is exactly his driven goal. He took something, he got dealt a bad hand, he's believed in it, we've had to sail the waves and surface through things, and So his commitment, honestly, I can't speak highly enough of his commitment to the community as well. So.
Thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate it. Good spending some time with you. Nathan Walter from the Jacksonville Armada, president and GM. We'll look forward to any of the news that comes on the stadium and also when they fire it all back up on the pitch as well. It's a pitch, Austin. If you're going to play goalie, it's a
I'm
pitch.
aware. And listen, I'm probably not going to be the best goalie because, once again, I know there's kicking involved. But if you need an enforcer for like 1 or 2 minutes, if you need to take out somebody, I'm your guy.
I think we have to bring him in this summer and train with the 23s.
Enforcer, baby.
By the way, dude, if you do that, it's a red card. And now you got to play with one less guy. That's tactically a disadvantage.
I'm just saying, if they're up by a lot and some things get said and you need an enforcer out there, we're just talking about it. Soccer's not, I'm sorry, well, I'll call it soccer, but soccer's not as physical as it used to be, correct?
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Let's bring some physicality back to soccer. Brent, what's up, man?
Easy, Miles Garrett.
Shins are conditioned and ready to go.
Hey, a little balling and falling, plus the wall that says it all coming up on ESPN 690.
Gonna throw a shin pad at somebody.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny and nice today. Highs in the upper 60s to around 70. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you can get 20% off store-wide, including loose diamonds with special financing. Only at Beard's Diamonds.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Pros, shop Lowe's Black Friday deals to save your business money. Deals like $200 off a DeWalt 12-inch 15-amp dual-bevel sliding compound miter saw, now just $349. If you're managing properties and need to update appliances, get up to 40% off select appliance special values, including kitchen suites as low as $1169 when you order large volume purchases through our quote support program. For these Black Friday deals and more, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through 12/5. DeWalt offer valid through 11/27. Volume discount terms and conditions apply. U.S. only.
Time for an oil change? Our AutoZone Rewards program is here to help you take care of the job. We've got great deals on the products you need to keep that well-oiled machine well-oiled. Members get a $5 bonus reward when they purchase 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $33.99. Celebrating that oil change with an I Did It starts here. Visit your local AutoZone today and we'll help you get what you need to get the job done right. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Luxury begins at the door of Atlantic Infiniti with your concierge, no-pressure customer experience.
Only one Atlantic Infiniti.
Experience the wave of luxury in person at 10980 Atlantic Boulevard or at AtlanticInfiniti.com.
Small business owners, it's been a great year and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at JacksonvilleTruckCenter.com.
This is the sale smart jewelry buyers wait for.
Beard's Diamonds 20% off sale on everything in their massive showroom.
Including loose diamonds.
Yes, 20% off everything at Beard's Diamonds.
In the St. John's Town Center or at BeardsDiamonds.com.
We're local, you're local, shop local. This holiday season, shop local retailers right here in the 904.
When you shop local retailers, you're making an investment in our own community.
Shop the 904.
Powered by Cox Media Group.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We come down to the team.
904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
The home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 can be your home course, too. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. Family owned and operated. Cooler temperatures are here, and Southampton is a fun course to play. The golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. You have to see their new practice facility. It's a player-friendly golf course, and it will be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. The golf club at Southampton. Call 904-287-PLAY. That's 904-287-PLAY.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker dazzles this Christmas. Bring the whole family together for the original holiday tradition. Step into a simpler time filled with sweet dreams and spectacular magic. Experience world-class artists, stunning costumes, and towering puppets on the Gift of Christmas tour. It just wouldn't be Christmas without Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. Get tickets now at nutcracker.com.
Appearing at the Florida Theater December 22nd. Get your tickets today at nutcracker.com.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Nobody's saying that Jimmy Garoppolo can't play. He's got 9 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. I know they got a good defense, because that's the only reason they ain't know right now. It ain't because of Jimmy G.
Hey, this is Dennis Anderson, the driver of Gravedigger Monster Truck, the baddest monster truck in the land. You're listening to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I mean, the biggest thing about football is you can't let this week go into next week. You know, we got to put it behind this 24-hour world and look forward. You know, put this to bed. You know, it is what it is. We lost. They kicked our butt. How are we going to respond?
That's Calais Campbell, and again, that's what I've kind of said. I think that's what people want to hear. It's like, yeah, we get it. Okay, now go fix it. Now, it's one thing to hear it. Now they want to see it. We're tired of hearing it. I understand. I get it. What else are the players supposed to say? Yeah. But it's now time to see it. And what are you going to do? By the way, shout out to Stuart Weber listening in St. Simon's Island. The RSM Classic is happening. Tees off tomorrow. PGA Tour event up in St. Simon's Island. 2 beautiful golf courses up there. And Davis Love, a lot of the proceeds from a charity standpoint go to his foundation. But he's the host and has been for years. Great event, fun event. Awesome place to be. And Stuart went up there, said he could hear us in St. Simon's Island. Well, you better be able to. We think we can go all the way up to Savannah, maybe even peek into Charleston, South Carolina here on ESPN 690.
I like that.
So listening everywhere. That's good. Brent Martineau, along with Austin Lane. Let's do a little balling and falling, man, before we go to the wall that says it all.
Balling, Brent, has nothing to do with sports whatsoever, but I saw the news today and I was excited, so it had to go in my balling category. They are going to remake, well, I'm sorry, not going to remake. They're going to have a sequel to, in my opinion, the best movie by a long shot of the year, Joker. There's going to be a Joker sequel coming out hopefully next year. So, to me, that's balling. Have you seen Joker yet?
No. You liked it?
Have you seen Joker yet?
No.
So here's the thing. It's not a movie, and spoiler alert, but it's not a movie that you go to for entertainment. You know, this isn't your typical run-of-the-mill comic book superhero movie. I sat during that movie, Brent, and I felt uncomfortable. I felt awkward at some points, and I kind of felt grossed out at some points.
Kind of like sitting here with me.
Pretty much, yeah. It was basically a 2.5-hour movie sitting next to Brent Martineau. But no, but
so it's not a date movie.
I don't think it's a date movie, but if you want to see a guy with an Oscar-winning performance and Joaquin Phoenix, you got to go see it. I mean, his performance, Brent, to me, stands out as one of the best performances ever of any actor in a movie. And I'm including Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood as well.
Who?
Daniel Day-Lewis. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it, man.
Hey, I forgot about
Daniel
Day-Lewis. Hey, we got to put him on the list, Daniel Day-Lewis, for when we do our 1-year anniversary show.
It's all right, Brent. I'm still listening to you, man. It's all good. I'm right here.
I mean, what's Coos doing? He's
I don't know, man.
I'm
Showing off our new captioning system.
Well, that captioning system didn't work very well yet. Or actually, it did work very well yesterday.
It worked
didn't
pretty good, yeah. But I also had to talk like 1 mile per hour.
All right.
You can blame me.
Wait, John, have you seen Joker? John Bachman, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi,
have
everybody.
You seen
not
Joker?
seen Joker.
Oh,
I have
man.
not been in the right. I can't.
I know you have
to. Man, I have to go see that movie.
You
I just
have
don't
to be
have
in the right mindset.
I don't
I'm
have
telling
the time.
you.
I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Don't go into that movie bummed
plenty
or
of time.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
You have plenty of time.
I got lots of time. Hey, real quickly, I got to tell you, I don't know if we're going to a break or not, but I just walked in. This is what I do.
We're in the middle of falling and falling, but whatever the hell you got to do.
Listen, real quickly, I don't care.
As you said, it's all good, man.
Lefsa.
Yeah.
We were talking about Lefsa. Was that yesterday? Or
That was yesterday. Yeah.
So I texted my mom. I said,
I remember you did
you'll
that.
never believe this. I got some Lefsa at the radio station. And she's like, what? She
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
believe her. Because, you don't see too many Lefsas in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a Lefsas or just Lefsa. Is that the plural? Is it
Lefse?
like deer and deers?
Lefsas?
I think it's Lefsa. Just
I think
Lefsa
it's just
in
Lefsa in general. I like that.
Anywho, she's coming soon in the next couple of weeks, and she said she's going to make us some.
Let's go.
Mom Bachman is going to make us some Lefsa.
Does that fly well?
Homemade Lefsa, Austin.
And when you say us, you mean just me and you, because Brent was hating on it. Brent didn't want to try it. Brent's not cultured, so Brent doesn't get any.
Haters aren't going to get any.
What do you think about that? Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, that's fine, man.
Wow.
Okay. Just sit over there and pout.
Unless you put butter and cinnamon and sugar on it.
Just sit over there and pout then, man. Unbelievable.
You can do that. I like
does
butter.
Does Lefsa travel well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Not too shabby.
When my mom leaves, she'll make us a bunch, and we'll put it in the freezer. And then when we want it,
Mouth
we
is
just
watering.
defrost it, warm it up, and it's
Mouth
good
is
to go.
watering.
I would imagine
it's Viking bread. I mean, of course it travels well.
I was going to say, it should travel well. It tastes like paper.
Oh, wow. Now, hey.
Austin, the shoe fits.
Oh, man. After all the stuff that we've talked about, racial injustices in this world, and now you have to attack a culture.
I didn't attack a culture.
You attacked the culture,
Careful
Brent.
that. Careful.
Do you
there.
like every bit of Chinese food?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know.
That sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a challenge, Brent.
Hey, I'm just gonna establish right now, Brent. You are in with arm's reach away from me. Okay.
Yeah, you're double.
And well, I can get closer with my chair. It's not a big deal. And I'm telling you right now.
That's why we load the cameras here.
I will not be talked down to by someone who looks like they're a chaperone at an alternative school for a middle school prom right now. Does he look like that? Looks like the cool guy at an alternative school chaperone on prom. It's like, hey, I saw you guys doing cigarettes, but it's okay. I'm the cool chaperone. Just go back and dance. I won't tell anybody.
The one that doesn't tell you to leave room for Jesus?
Yeah, whoa, thanks, Mr. Martin. No, you're the coolest. You got it, kids. That's you right now. And
he's red, man. You got him good on that
you will
one.
not talk down to me like that.
Make sure
okay?
the camera picks up his shade of red there. That's outstanding.
I still think the best part of this show is when Austin goes to the clothing department.
When you get me heated, that's what's gonna happen. All right, spoiler alert. Don't talk bad about my culture.
All that for Lefsa. I would have died on a better vine than that, man. I would have saved that for something better.
Well, to be fair, if you ever tried like the cuisine of Scandinavian countries, we aren't bringing a lot to the table, man.
What else is there actually?
Well,
lutefisk,
you think Lefsa's
meatballs.
bad? You should try lutefisk, buddy. That'll grow hair on your chest, as we used to say.
I go to when you go to Epcot, you go to the different countries.
Yeah.
Do they have all that in Norway?
I've never been to Epcot. I assume they do. Yeah, they got it. I've never been to Epcot. Sorry.
Wow. I mean, I've been to Epcot, but I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that question, Brent.
6 years. And if it makes you even more upset, I was in Disney. Like when I was a kid, we did a road trip down to Disney, but we didn't go to Epcot.
That wasn't the educational one.
No. We were just roller coasters.
So
dude.
have you been to Disney since you've been in Florida?
Yeah. Well, is like the Harry Potter world, that whole thing? Is that like
that's
Disney?
Universal.
Then no,
That's Universal.
I haven't been to Disney then.
So you've been to Universal?
Yeah, I've been to Universal.
We're going to take a road trip.
Halloween Horror Nights.
We might have to take a road trip. Where were the ESPN? We couldn't be able to do this.
Oh, I would think you could get that happening.
Disney, maybe we'll promote Disney Plus a little bit.
Now we're talking little free membership.
Yeah,
I like that.
Plus, don't
hey,
they
Nick,
do
can you work on that?
Disney does do media passes
They
too.
used to a lot more.
Well, I think they still. Last I checked, they do 2 a year.
They still do?
Oh, yeah. Austin probably doesn't know about that. You get 2 a year.
Yeah.
My wife's buying Disney tickets today to so she's probably like, hey, maybe we should. I won't make that phone call.
Someone going to tell me I get free passes to Disney every single year, or we're just going to let those go to the wayside?
I think Brett was taking yours and pocketing them.
Probably
I think.
was.
By the way, I'll also give you a free ticket to the Orlando Dreamers.
Wow. Listen, I missed that whole conversation. I know you don't want to relive it, but I just saw the logo and. First of all, the name itself. I'll stop.
No, John. What do you got to say?
I just think it's.
Are you a fan or not?
I'm not a fan.
And John's not a millennial, and he's not a fan.
I'm way past millennial.
Put it on the record.
I learned today that millennial goes to 40.
40. Yeah, the oldest millennials are 40.
We've changed that.
No, I think that's always been the case.
No way.
Well, I didn't change it.
I mean,
who changed it? Who changed it, Brent?
There's no way millennial was up to 40.
Yeah.
Because
that's the first time I've ever heard that today.
Hey, Brent, this just in. Every year that goes by, the millennials get older.
That's fair.
So 5 years ago, years ago, the millennials went to 35. That's how it works.
Can you Google
this
that?
just in?
Yeah,
because I don't know if I trust that.
Let's go and get
But I can tell you that regardless, I'm past it. I guess I'd love to be still, but I'm not.
Yeah. Do you hate all logos like millennials or just that one?
I do not hate all logos like millennials. That is not true.
And here I'm trying to attract
millennials don't like logos. What? I missed that part.
No, they don't.
Okay. It is the hip thing
first
to
of
hate
all, millennials
everything.
don't like anything.
Millennials are those between the years
they like social
of
media.
81 and 96.
Yeah.
So the oldest would be 38.
Huh.
It's almost there.
And here's the thing that's upsetting on my perspective is I say one little thing about Wendy's, how I didn't like their chicken sandwich, and I get, we got to watch out for our sponsorships, might be a sponsor one day, and you just take a whole generation, drag them through the mud.
Yeah.
Some of our listeners, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully a lot of your listeners.
No one even puts Brent in check. No one even calls him out. It's like, just go and hate on millennials the whole time.
Well, it is what it is. Call it like I see it.
Brent is calling the shots around.
Just for the record, John Bachman likes millennials.
Wendy's might.
I wanted to know that John Bachman likes millennials. I work with a whole lot of them, and I like millennials.
That's a ringing endorsement.
We actually had. We're not going to get into this too deep, but we actually had a whole meeting today about millennials in
did.
TV land.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Changed the game, baby.
Okay.
Like we kind of have already done a little bit here on the radio side.
What was the meeting? Just like some new verbiage, some new terms that you have to use on the air?
I just think now that when you talk in our industry, we're talking about that age group.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
So it's like we never. I don't think we ever really targeted or people targeted in whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Maybe they did. Like the baby boomers.
Advertisers want folks in the 25 to 54 demographic. Yeah. Well, guess what? Baby boomers are aging out of that age group.
Sure.
And now you've got, as we just mentioned, millennials are up to age 38, 40, depending on where you're looking. And that's virtually halfway through into the demo group that advertisers want.
Absolutely.
So that's how that works.
Hey, so by the way, millennials are balling.
Yeah.
My balling is, I actually like what they did in Orlando today. I don't know if I fully understand it.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. I have no problem. Like, again, I think a lot of people said, what are we doing here? Major League Baseball, we need another franchise in Florida. Nobody goes to games.
Didn't work so well for Tampa.
No, but
Miami?
It has worked for the Lightning. It has worked for, again, basketball and hockey have like 20,000 or less seating capacities. Baseball, if you build the size stadium, I think can work. Now, it hasn't worked in Tampa, but there's been a lot of things that haven't worked in Tampa. There's been a lot. So if you do it right in a place, Miami's such a unique market. It's like doesn't even feel like it feels like its own thing.
But
it's like New Orleans in the state of Louisiana. It feels like it's a different country.
But to be fair, Brent, to kind of counter you a little bit though, but you mentioned Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, it's working in Tampa Bay because their fan base for their hockey team, and granted they're good always, but I mean they're pretty loyal following. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, they do, and they've won, and they've been successful, and it's been fresh, and hockey's
and that helps.
Hockey here has worked, and I think hockey in general, if Orlando were to put a professional hockey team in, maybe it does work. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I think a lot of it has to do with as basic as the weather. I've been to a couple of late season, preseason baseball games in Sarasota area where it was 90 degrees, and you're sitting in that sun, and you're just cooking. And I love baseball, and I wanted no part of just sitting there sweating and being miserable. And if you were to have they have to play indoors in Tampa because it's so hot. In Minnesota, you have the dome because for the first month of the season, the last month of the season, you need it because you might get snow. In Tampa, you do it because it's hot. But then you're inside that, just cold. You not very personal.
Right.
It's not.
You got to get the stadium right.
Absolutely.
But Orlando is so centralized that you can get people from
That's
all
true.
over. And
That's
not
true.
only that, it's a destination place more than anywhere else in the state of Florida. So what they're saying is, hey, if we can get Atlanta Braves fans because they're coming in to go to Disney and they might want to pop over to a game.
Absolutely.
Or if we can get San Diego fans who are coming into, you get my point.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's like a crazy idea. What I don't understand is I don't see baseball. I got to pay attention more to the baseball expansion talk. I thought it would be more like, let's take the Rays.
That's the only way it works, Brent. There's no way it will work if you're going to add and not subtract the Rays. There's no
the
way.
Rays might be subtracted from Florida.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're subtracted from the Major League Baseball.
Fair enough. But I'm saying this would work theoretically. What you're saying does sound great, but it won't work if the Rays are still in Tampa. No way.
Here's the deal. My ball, I'm not sure if it will work. Okay, I got to probably deeper dive on this and see if not that I'd be right, but even to have a great thought of, okay, that's definitely going to work. And the Rays are a big thing here. If they get out of the state, then you have this whole central to northern part of the state that doesn't have baseball.
Yeah.
And again, they're centrally located. We're not driving. Ty's a fan of Tampa. We're not driving to Tampa to see the Rays very often. They're in Orlando. They go to see the Red Sox. Hey, sign me up. I'm coming over. That's a 2-hour drive versus a 3.5-hour drive. That's a big difference.
You don't need to stay the night.
Kaylee and Steph can go to Disney if they don't want to come to the baseball game. So I'm just
there's
me
alternative
speaking.
options, yeah.
But it's a little different than saying it's in Tampa. Is my point. Now I don't think both can be there. So we'll see what happens with them. But anyway, I didn't mind the idea of it conceptually. I just don't. I thought it would be more. And I guess they can't say that, right? They can't say, well, Tampa, once you get out of here, we're going to take your baseball team or something like that. They probably can't go about it that way. Hey, what do you got coming up? CBS 47, Fox 30.
We're talking guns, actually. A couple different interesting stories, not related at all. First of all, we had a gun found at a high school. Student was arrested, and as a result, the district is now putting up permanent metal detectors for the rest of the school year there. And the district has looked at and is investing in putting metal detectors at other high schools in the district. And we're going to run down who, when, all that stuff. So there's that. And then, unrelated completely, Clay County is talking about being a sanctuary, a Second Amendment sanctuary. You've heard the sanctuary city before. Well, this would be a sanctuary county. One other county in Central or Southern Florida has done this already. I want to say Hillsborough. I could be. Don't quote me on that.
I just saw a whole story on the evening news.
There is another county in Florida that's done that. We're basically saying they're going on saying, you like guns, you come here, we're going to protect you. You'll be able to carry a gun. And we have a very emotional tell on this story because we talked to a woman who says that her loved one would be alive today if she had been able to carry because her loved one was shot and killed and they weren't able to protect. So it's really interesting. So kind of two different things. So that's and we have a poll on that too. So I'd love for you guys, if you're listening, if you're tuning in to the show tonight, to weigh in on actionnewsjax.com/vote. And you can weigh in on a sanctuary status for Clay County.
All right.
Two talkers for sure.
All right.
And a whole bunch of other stuff, but those are the two. And we got, recap of today's inquiry, impeachment inquiry hearings. So if you want your taste of that, we've got that as well.
All right, coming up 5 o'clock, CBS 47 and Fox 30. John Bachman, Tanika Hughes, Mike Borish, and we'll visit with all of them in sports as well with the Action Sports Jax department on the TV side. CBS 47 and Fox 30. Check it out tonight, 5 until 7 p.m. And then tonight, again, 10 until 11:30 p.m. Thanks, man.
As always, thanks for letting me interrupt. I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to do a group falling at the wall that says it all. And it's got to do with the captains of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are going there next. Speaking of TV land, the wall that says it all, what went wrong, and why the Jaguars need better play, not leadership, play out of their big name guys. That's the story at the wall when we come back on ESPN 690.
It's that time again, the time when I can finally say my favorite 3 words. No, it's not I love you, though those are pretty good words too. The 3 words I'm talking about, Toyotathon is on, and it's going on right now at Arlington Toyota. Arlington Toyota is the place to be when it comes to getting amazing Toyotathon savings on their huge selection. That's over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, and it's all at Toyotathon savings. Right now, during Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota, lease a 2020 Camry LE for only $232 a month. That's a 2020 Camry for just $232 a month. Ready to unwrap a RAV4? Then get to Arlington Toyota where you can lease a 2019 RAV4 LE for just $216 a month. Just $216 a month. Plus, you get Arlington's $5,000 Advantage Club and even a national lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles for new purchases. Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you've received a letter from the IRS and can't pay them, things can get bad quickly. The IRS can seize your bank account, garnish your wages, and place liens against everything you own. If this is you, contact J. David Tax Law, a local firm right here in Jacksonville. Your first step to stop IRS harassment is a no-cost consultation. They explain exactly your options and how they will resolve your tax issue. Only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you, and fee payment plans are affordable for everyone. Get the protection you deserve. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away. The fastest way to get started is to call 904-507-4777. 904-507-4777. Or online at jdavidtaxlaw.com. The number again, 904-507-4777. Or online at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
New flavors and a rating that would make man jealous. Hey, everyone, this is Austin Lane.
And I'm Brent Martineau. Vita de Louis recently got a 98 rating. It's new, and it's getting rave reviews.
Made in Tequila, Mexico, and shipped directly to Jax Beach. Vita de Louis is available in 3 flavors.
And those flavors are Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Try all 3. Make your own recipes with Vita de Louis Tequila, one of the smoothest tequilas you will ever taste. For merchandise and more, visit VitaDeLouis.com.
Shop the 904.
When you shop local retailers, you're making an investment in our own community.
Check out cool stores like Jacksonville's own Video Game Rescue, a locally owned video game store that features new and hard-to-find retro video games, vintage toys, and they even have a game room with a bunch of classic games and pinball machines. If you have a gamer on your holiday gift list, you will find something perfect for them at Video Game Rescue on Blanding Boulevard.
Shop the 904.
Powered by Cox Media Group. Visit shopthe904.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Where I'm from, marijuana is legal. Can I use it in Florida?
Nah, it's illegal here. 20 grams or less is a misdemeanor, and more than 20 grams is a felony.
Well, I have epilepsy. Should I try to get a medical marijuana prescription?
Now that's legal, but talk to your doctor first to see if it's a qualifying condition and if medical marijuana is even right for you.
I will, thanks.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo here from Golic & Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jackson. It's clear Northeast Florida has great taste in radio. I mean, you're listening to me every morning, right? Join the ESPN 690 team and get your business notice today. The First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get your business in front of them. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Friday nights, we bring the high school football to you on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with our Game of the Week. We don't just cover one school, a different game every week. Listen to the call of the game on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com. Watch the video of the game live on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just look us up on Action Sports Jacks or ESPN 690. It's our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week, and it leads into the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30 and 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30. Action Sports Jack.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We come down to the TV studio at the wall that says it all for just 3 downs. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, and we are going to take a look now at the Jaguars captains. not all of them,
Yeah.
but 3 of them, and why in a game of that magnitude against the Colts, or really any game, you need your star players, your big players, your captains to play well. And we have some examples that they didn't play well. There are a lot of examples of everybody didn't play well against the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. Once again, if you're watching on our video platforms, now 1 million deep on our video platforms at Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We appreciate it. We'll show you the illustrations. If you're listening, ESPN 690, ESPN690.com, the TuneIn app, anywhere else, we'll try to make this candy for your ears as well. So let's begin with Nick Foles, his first game back. Chris Conley on Jags Report Live the other night told us Indianapolis changed things up. The first 2 drives where Nick Foles was 6 for 7, they throw a touchdown pass. It was man-to-man.
Correct.
Well, then they went into zone coverage, and, well, the Jags didn't play well against the zone. Was that Foles? Was that the Jags? Was that the Colts?
So that's a lot of things. Because to me, if you go back in the Colts' history this year, listen, back in 2018, they've always been a zone team. To me, what really put the Indianapolis Colts on the map this year as a defense was when they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, how did they beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Being a predominantly zone team, the Indianapolis Colts came out, and guess what? I rewatched the game a little bit. The Colts came out and ran, I would say realistically, 75% of their coverages were man on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that a copycat to the New England Patriots from back in the postseason?
Might be a little bit.
Chiefs, right?
Yes, absolutely. It might be a little bit. But what I'm saying is, their characteristics, they've always been zone coverage. But for whatever reason, they saw something with Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. They went man. Kansas City couldn't counter it. So I guarantee Jacksonville saw that film, obviously. All NFL teams saw that film and said, you know what? We have to plan for man now. Even though one of their starting corners was out, we still have to anticipate man here.
So they did anticipate man, like I said, 6 or 7 early on, but then things start to change. And this is just a play against the zone. This is one of many. I mean, obviously, Foles threw it 47 times. There were a lot of incompletions. There was the interception. But, I mean, is this easy pickings and Foles is rusty? Is this something the Colts are doing? What goes on is this play is just basically a normal pass play over the middle of the field. He has time. Maybe can't fully step up in the pocket due to this the little bit of pressure on the left side, but not a lot. And he's got a running back out of the backfield. I think that's Fournette, but it could be Raquel Armstead. And then a receiver down the field as well. And, well, it's not a completion.
No, it's not a completion. Now, if you go back and look at this formation and what they ran, it's what they call an overload. It was a bunch formation, but they were spread out a lot farther than the quarterback than a traditional bunch. And what the philosophy is there is when you have 3 guys that are close to each other, but they're on the outside of the line of scrimmage, that means that they're probably going to run something sort of the same route, where one guy's going to maybe run 5 yards, other guy breaks off at 7, another guy goes deep. What that does is that overloads one side. So basically what that means is what Nick Foles needs here is protection in the pocket, which he feels some pressure. But if you overload that one side and the defense doesn't adjust to it, which guess what? The Colts didn't on this play, that means that someone's going to come up either open deep or underneath. And as we break down this play right here to Keelan Cole, obviously it was a bad throw. Maybe Foles felt a little pressure. But if you would have just saw, he had an underneath guy right here, and he had another guy coming across. So the overload worked. It's just for the fact that he maybe felt some pressure and threw it to the wrong guy here.
And I believe this is the play where Cole doesn't even look, right? And they almost pick it off, but they run into each other.
Page.
Or it could have easily been an interception to Nick Foles. So this is pretty simplistic.
It is.
Kind of just poor execution once again.
It's poor execution. One could think maybe, this is one of the very first plays of the game, and maybe Foles is still getting acquainted, kind of shaking some of the rust off. But he did have guys open, and unfortunately, this was 3rd down. The Jaguars got to punt it off this, and it is what it is.
The bottom line is Nick Foles, maybe he was rusty, and I think we need bigger sample to figure out, all right, is this really Nick Foles just not being good, or is he just trying to get back into the swing of things? And the Jags don't have time for that, but the bottom line from a Nick Foles perspective, I think we got to give him at least another game to figure out how much of that is Nick Foles. By the way, as we walk over here to captain number 2, and that's Miles Jack, who had a really rough game, I will tell you that I kind of feel like a substitute science teacher.
You kind of look like one, but you know what? But I'm going to respect you here, man. I'm going to respect you, and I'm not going to get away with anything, I promise. So from this perspective, listen, Brent, we're breaking down the captains, right? Because we've been pretty critical, at least I have been pretty critical on the coaches so far this week. Well, you're not the only one. Well, there is a chain of command, though, right? It goes the coaches, and then it goes the captains, and then the players. And let's be honest, nobody played well. We pretty much ripped the coaches so far the past couple of days. Well, now we have to go to the captains because, like I said, it is the chain of command.
Oh, my goodness. This play. It's 3rd quarter. It's 10-7. We still got a football game here.
Correct.
Early 3rd. This is the drive they go down and score on, but this is the 3rd and 19 play. I mean, they're trying to get off the field and just give their punter a little bit more room, and the Jaguars give up 31 yards on this play.
Yeah.
This is baffling.
Yeah.
This is, in a way, it's worse than Brady 3rd and 18 because it's not Tom Brady, and it's not the playoffs, and it's not the AFC Championship game. Although that was worse because it was all those things. But, I mean, I don't get this. I mean, how does this happen in the NFL? There must have been 10 guys doing the wrong thing on this play.
So from this standpoint, if you want to say the Jaguars scheme kind of got called out here, they did because they're playing back. Basically, they're trying to prevent, the 3rd and long.
They're playing the marker, right?
They're playing the marker. Well, in playing the marker, you're vulnerable to the screens and the short passes, and that's what happened here. And if you have a guy in space that can make the play, that has the speed and agility to get open, well, there's going to be problems. But the reason why I chose this play, Brent, and we're highlighting captains here, is Myles Jack. Now, if you go back and watch this play completely, this isn't really Myles Jack's fault. There's a lot of guys at fault here, and let's be honest. It was a good play call by the Indianapolis Colts and maybe a not so good play call by Todd Wash and the Jacksonville Jaguars. But why I'm highlighting Myles Jack here is because this screen cap right here says everything you need to know about him playing middle linebacker. Middle linebackers more than anything else, and they're a different breed. We say football players are a different breed, middle linebackers are a different breed. And why I say that is because anytime you see action coming to you, anytime you see guards coming to you, let's be honest, the Colts have some pretty good guards, they have a pretty solid offensive lineman in general. Anytime you see a guy coming towards you, you can't go lateral. You have to go attack it. You have to go downhill, north to south, north to south, north to south. Myles Jack reads the play fine. But the problem is that he goes too lateral. And when he goes lateral and tries to push the ball back inside, as you can see right here, his feet are completely square. And when your feet are completely square, any offensive lineman's going to be like, gotcha.
Yeah, because you're off balance.
And let's be honest here, Brent. I would probably say 80 to 90% of the middle linebackers in the NFL probably do the exact same thing Myles Jack does. He gets lateral. He tries to turn the ball back inside. Unfortunately, as you can see, there is nothing back inside to help him out.
Nothing.
Right? So there's the pursuit angles right there we've been talking about the whole week. But the problem is that Myles Jack isn't supposed to be, the echelon of 90%. He's supposed to be that special 10% because you know why? He's getting paid like it. And that special 10%, the top elite middle linebackers, they go through that block and they try to make the play.
So that's what he should have done, would have done, could have done.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, just go back up top, because again, just for the folks just listening, this is the 3rd and 19 play, early 3rd quarter. They've got the screen set up beautifully, really.
Yeah.
But again, it's 19 yards. I mean, you just got to hold it from 19 yards.
Yeah.
Then down here, Myles Jack is kind of, he's flat-footed by this time as he's trying to push that back inside.
Yeah.
And then up here, they already are 5 yards, well, a couple yards down the field, but it is set up beautifully as they go back inside with this for a 31-yard gain, and everybody's in chase mode. So that's kind of the illustration of where we're at. There's 4 different screen grabs here of this play. Do you not like Todd Wash playing the marker on a 3rd and 19? I mean, don't a lot of defenses do that? Just say, hey, we'll give up 15 yards on this side of the field, but don't give up 19.
So a lot of defenses do this. And you know what? This at the most should be a 10-yard gain right here.
Yeah.
And it's like I was talking about. If Myles Jack comes downhill and gets aggressive, I get what Myles Jack's trying to do right here. He's trying to push the play back inside. And that's kind of a rule for anybody, whether you're Pop Warner, college, high school, whatever it is. If you see a play, you push it back inside because that's where your help's going to come. Unfortunately, whether guys are just winded, guys are tired, whatever the excuse is, there was no pursuit coming back.
So they weren't tired. They just came out of the locker room.
So even when Myles Jack, tries to push it back inside, it's not there. So that's where being the top 3 highest paid, middle linebackers and playing like it comes into play, where you have to come downhill and be aggressive. And that was kind of the wrap up of Myles Jack's day. He did okay. But I feel like you can be more aggressive coming downhill and stopping those runs.
Well, let me ask you this. If he does bust through this guy, right, he at least maybe either pushes him back or doesn't create more space downfield.
Correct.
And that could give Smoot the opportunity. Yeah. And the running back has to stutter step a little bit. So the play slows down.
Correct.
He might not make the play.
Yeah.
Right? Am I correct?
You're absolutely right here. Yeah. I mean, if Myles Jack just comes downhill and just pushes this guard back a little bit, I mean, even a foot of that guard getting pushed back, it can change this whole run around. And I guarantee it's not going to be a 19-yard or 20-yard gain, whatever it was. But and as you can see, everyone's just chasing backside.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Brent, this is
I closed my eyes at this point.
I think we all did, for the most part.
And by the way, you were too nice to Myles Jack. You say he played okay. A lot of people believe he did not have a good game the other day.
No, so as far as the run game's concerned, obviously nobody played good on that defense. Maybe Yannick Ngakoue for the most part.
I haven't heard him against the run.
Heard against the run was a little bad. But my point is the fact that It starts with the defensive line, right? And they weren't taking care of their guards. Miles Jack was getting blocked by the guards. But it's Miles Jack's job to come north to south, come downhill, and stop those
And it goes back to what we've been saying about Miles Jack, man. You got to make splash plays.
Yeah.
Right? When do you get a star, right? When do I notice 44 on the field? Yeah. The interception against Cincinnati, really the only time I can remember this year saying, wow, there he is. There's number 44. All right, our last one and our last captain. It's the mayor of Saxonville. I hate saying anything bad about my guy, Calais Campbell.
We got to be honest,
and he would say this too. I think we'll do Jaguars All Access tomorrow night, and he would say this.
Yeah.
He did not have a good game. And he's coming off about a string of really good games, I think it was. But he did not have a good game. And, well, this is a play down near the goal line. They finish off that drive after the 3rd and 19 conversion. It's 4th and goal. Now, this is an excellent play, right? I think this is an excellent play.
By Jacoby Brissett.
By Jacoby Brissett and the Colts. I thought actually my reaction was the defense did a pretty nice job here, but it was tight coverage. So tell me why I'm wrong.
This is where we disagree a little bit. And this is probably one of the most frustrating plays of the day for me, from my standpoint. If you go back to where this play started, the Jaguars' defensive line was not ready, and guys were confused. And you can tell that easily. If guys are standing up asking, where do I go, and the ball snapped, guess what? Guys aren't ready. Now, who does that fall on? Obviously, Miles Jack.
Now, call timeout.
Yeah, exactly. You either call a timeout or you got to get the play in faster. Whatever the reason is, but guys are not ready.
To your point, I said that twice watching the game. I said, call timeout before the ball would snap, because you could tell people were all over the place.
So here we go. So guys aren't ready. Guys are standing up, and it wasn't by design, obviously. So if we have that, Brent, the Jaguars' defensive line, their defense, is already at a disadvantage. Now let's look more into it. We are at 4th and goal on the 1-yard line, and you're doing that. That's huge.
That's awful.
That's either the difference between winning and losing right there. It's that 1 yard not being ready. So off the get-go, guys are confused and guys are not ready. Now the Jaguars, as you can see, that they send 5 guys here, which obviously I'm a big fan of.
You're okay with that.
Let's get a little pressure here. But here's where it kind of all goes wrong. Once again, the rush lanes, as we can see, it's not disciplined because guys aren't ready. Guys don't know where to go. I think I saw Taven Bryan go from the left side to the right side, wasn't really knowing where he was rushing. So from the get-go, guys don't know where they're going. Now, Calais Campbell, he has a chance to make the play. And I've said it, and he said it before. You don't want to be a robot. You want to be an athlete, and you want to make a play. So Calais Campbell tries to make the play. I have no problem with it. He got shook. He got his ankles broke a little bit. That happens.
He's a 300-pound guy
Drew Brees once shook me really bad in the Saints game, like my second year, and I still haven't, my friends still give me crap for that, okay? So I've been there. But here's the problem, Brent. It's what we talked about in slide number 2 with Miles Jack. If you're going to miss, it's okay. But where do you miss? You miss to the point where the guy's got to go back inside. As you can see here, Calais Campbell tried to go for the sack, but he tried to go for the sack inside. What did that do? When he falls to the ground, it leaves a wide open rush lane. If Calais Campbell would have missed on the other side, Brissett would have had nowhere to go.
If you're looking on our video platforms, if you just listen, hopefully you can follow along. But these illustrations, again, 4th and goal, and now Jacoby Brissett has put a juke move on Calais Campbell. An athlete against a good athlete, but a 300-pound athlete. Correct. It's a little bit of a mismatch in the open field. But your point's right. He doesn't send him back into the middle. Then Jacoby Brissett would go outside and hit the touchdown pass, even though it was good coverage by A.J. Boye. But the lanes are open. There's a lot going on here. I actually thought in real time that Jacoby Brissett was going to score up the middle. And I was like, wow, Calais, nice job. That's my initial was you stopped the run up the middle. I thought they was going to score just scrambling. And he didn't do that. In fact, if you look at this, if you can see it on the video platforms, Jacoby Brissett looks like he's about to go down. It's incredible balance. It's a really nice play by him.
It's very impressive. Now, it's not just Calais Campbell's fault, though, right? Because usually on the defensive line, it's a few guys. We also have to point out, again, Miles Jack. The biggest thing about Miles Jack here, Brent, is where are his hands and where are the offensive tackle's hands?
Well, offensive tackle's hands grabbing them like this.
Correct.
And
easy now, but yes, you're correct.
I got a little aggressive.
No, you're good.
And his arm's flailing, at least his right arm is.
So, Brent, we've done this before. When I say you want to pass rush, you want to attack the tackle, do I attack half of you or do I attack all of you?
I'm trying to remember from this test. I feel like this is like a.
This is pretty basic stuff. So I'm going to attack half of you. Because I get it. You're a small guy, but you know what? I don't want to work hard. So I'm going to attack half of you, even when I'm pass rushing. Now,
easy on the small guys.
You can attack the full man if you want, but that's only from a bull rush. You have to set that up. Miles Jack's not a pass rusher. I understand that. He's not used to being right here, right now. But the fact
he's giving up 60 pounds to that guy.
And you know what? When you go head on head like that and you're giving up that much weight, you're not going to win a lot of battles. No. So unfortunately, as we look right here, Miles Jack is pretty much swallowed up, and Brissett actually goes on the outside of him and that causes the touchdown.
So Miles Jack actually twice here, in my opinion, he took himself out of the play, allowed a big rushing lane that Calais would eventually gobble up, but still allowed him to go back outside. So really, Miles allowed two different things to happen on the same play because of technique.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly. And here's the thing. I'm okay because I just said you have to be aggressive. Yeah, you have to come downhill. You can come downhill if you're Miles Jack right here, but he's peeking in the backfield. He's not focused on his tackle. He's looking to see where the ball is. And when you do that and you're not disciplined, that's where you kind of get washed out of the gap a little bit. That's exactly what happened on this play right here.
Well, that's the wall that says it all. Austin Lane, just 3 downs. And really, if you sum it up, in my opinion, if you're going to win football games at any level, your best players usually are going to play well. If you're going to win in sports, your better players are playing well. We just showed 3 captains, 3 good football players for the Jaguars, really not doing their job on specific plays. But overall, these 3 guys did not play well on Sunday against the Colts, and the Jaguars paid the price for it. All right, going back upstairs, more of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 to come right after this. Has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Want a fresh one? Renna's makes everything fresh. New York style pizza, sandwiches, salads, pasta dishes, everything fresh. Find out why Renna's has been a family favorite for over 40 years. 5 locations in Northeast Florida: Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news: the Maple Leafs have fired coach Mike Babcock after a 9-10-4 start to the season and replacing him with Sheldon Keefe, coach of the team's AHL affiliate. After missing the last 3 games with a knee contusion, Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard planning to play against the Celtics tonight, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Young Omisu. Game would mark Leonard's debut alongside teammate Paul George, 10 Eastern, ESPN TV. Browns defensive end Myles Garrett's hearing over his suspension lasted less than 2 hours today. Garrett suspended by the NFL the rest of the season for hitting Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph in the head with a helmet. Garrett's suspension should be 4 games, insists ESPN's Jack Del Rio.
I think 6 is too much. I'm a little bit numb to the whole idea that somebody had their helmet ripped off and that it didn't stop right there. Get your sense about you, okay? But we're talking about what might have occurred. If it did occur, I'm all for it. But it didn't occur.
7-time NASCAR champ Jimmy Johnson announced 2020 will be his final season of full-time racing.
Don't let the big talk from the big wireless carriers fool you. Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same 4G LTE networks for up to half the cost. Get the unlimited plan with up to 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G for just $45 a month. No contract. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I mean, tackling is something that we do every week, but obviously we've got to figure out more ways to do it without, obviously beating ourselves up. So technically we've got to do a good job there. We have to have a good plan this week, obviously, with Derrick Henry. I mean, he's an outstanding running back who's, breaks a lot of tackles.
Yes, he does. We talked about Derrick Henry a little bit earlier. Just took you to the wall that says it all. Miles Jack, tough game. Calais Campbell, tough game. Nick Foles, tough game. You need your good players to play well. It's as simple as that. So we'll see if the Jaguars can get it done. More Jags talk coming up in just a little bit. We also will have some football talk in general, like the college football playoffs. I got something for you. And we kind of did Fallen was the Jags captains, but your Fallen coming in was going to be something Carmelo Anthony. So share it with us.
Yes. Okay, so Fallen. Listen, Brent, I think we can all agree that NBA, it's probably TV PG, right? It's a family-friendly thing. You can gather around
listening to like Charles Barkley. Or
exactly. You can gather around your kids and everything and enjoy a basketball game. Well, a little viewer's note, and if you haven't noticed this by now, it's time that you guys start taking notice because Twitter has ran with this. One thing about Carmelo Anthony, Brent, in case you didn't know, every time he gets a rebound, he either says one of two things. I got that S word, or F out of here, this is mine. Whoa. And when I say that, I'm not exaggerating. He literally says it every single rebound. Brent, he'll even say it if he doesn't get the rebound. and last night, if you're watching the Portland Trail Blazers, unfortunately, the NBA TV, that they couldn't bleep out all those words, and some of them leak through the gates. So just a little heads up. If you're a family out there and you want to go from TV PG to TVMA, just watch the Trail Blazers game with Carmelo Anthony.
This is a perfect segue to something I did want to mention today.
Uh-oh.
Cool. So I'm bringing in here. Driving Dish Podcast.
Oh boy.
How's the podcast going?
Going well. Yeah.
Good. Do you see ratings are down, I guess, quite a bit, NBA?
For my podcast? Oh, for...
Sorry, that was kind of lumped in.
I was like, oh, no, I thought they were doing well.
It's kind of tied together, yeah. No one's listening to your show.
That's why we don't talk NBA much.
I heard no one's listening to your show, Kuz. What's going on?
It does seem like it's down, though. Yeah, I could see that.
I saw somebody say something like 30% or 25% or something like that, and why and all this stuff. Well, it has to be like the bad pub from the China deal. Mm-hmm. Don't you think that turned people off a little bit? And again, I guess it's all relative to last year. I just think the early season in the NBA is like, you got bad stories with guys like not only the China thing, but you also have no Steph Curry, who's one of the stars of the league.
Kawhi Leonard sitting out big games against Giannis.
You had that kind of storyline. Yeah. You have no Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Everybody always thinks it's one reason. It's not one reason. I do think it's a little bit of that star power, but also the China thing, I think just put a black eye on the
big country, man. Yeah.
Going into the season. The timing of it was awful. So the one thing that is saving, I think, is LeBron James, and the Lakers are pretty good, right? And they're playing well. So to have the Lakers back good, even though I don't like them, is good. And especially if Gronk and Corden are going to dance with the cheerleaders.
I saw that. Yes,
that was good stuff. Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
James Corden, to me, Corden might be the best of them all.
Oh, wow. I mean, the best dancer or just best entertainer?
Best of the late night guys.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Conan, man.
Conan for sure.
I love Conan.
That's another millennial thing, isn't it?
Oh, wow. Brady's going to hate on Conan.
I'm not hating on Conan.
You really going to dislike
the
Conan?
The guy's on TNT.
What does James Gordon do?
Carpool
CBS.
Karaoke.
Oh, cool. I know what his show, but what? Oh, so you sit in a car and you sing. Talented. Wow. What a game changer. I don't mind him, but Conan's way better.
What does Conan do?
Monologues. Guy's funny, man. I can relate to Conan
Remember
O'Brien.
when he brought on Marshawn Lynch
yes,
and had him
the Skittles thing? Come on. Put Marshawn Lynch on the map.
I don't know.
Are you guys serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, no, I am too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought you guys were going to go with
Jimmy?
No.
I don't like Jimmy Fallon. I mean, Jimmy Fallon's good.
Fallon.
I don't.
You're not a Fallon guy.
Nah. It's too much sweetness, no substance. Go and give me Conan O'Brien.
See, I think Fallon's the most talented of them all. I mean, the stuff he does.
No. So
content-wise, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. You're most likely to see a Jimmy Fallon segment like on YouTube or on Facebook, right? Because he has great games and stuff like that, which is appealing now.
It's kind of like Ellen in that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's very appealing to the newer generations.
Yeah.
I see Jimmy Fallon stuff on Facebook all the time.
Great moments.
And I'll be honest, they're funny stuff. But I'm saying just from a show perspective, like a show that you want to see either DVR'd or live and not just a clip from Facebook, to me it's Conan O'Brien then.
That's interesting. And I gotta be honest, I don't watch a ton of them. I just feel like I feel like it's more the bits.
Yeah.
And the bits, Fallon does a good job with the bits, and I think Corden does a good job. And it's not just the karaoke; it's stuff like this.
Yeah,
it's like that guy in his jiggly belly will go out there and dance with the LA Lakers cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun. I think it's kind of funny stuff. Like, it's a great concept, great idea. At least he's trying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Late night stuff, I think, has dwindled so much. Because I don't think
Letterman
people
was
stay
king
up that
to
late.
me. See, like, dude, I grew up with David Letterman, and to me, like, he was just all the time. Like, I love.
You
David
always
Letterman.
watch Letterman.
Oh, I mean,
is that like a parental thing? Did the family watch
no,
that?
So it was when I was at my grandparents' house all the time, staying out with them and stuff. Like me and my grandpa, we'd always watch David Letterman. Like that was the thing that we did, and like he thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious too.
This is where I am a little old school, I guess. Like I have a hard time. Like Conan to me doesn't feel as relevant because he's like on TNT.
Sure.
He joked about that a lot for a while.
Rightfully so. Yeah, I mean, you're right with that. He's not on CBS. He's not on ABC.
I can find Conan O'Brien anywhere I want to go find
I know.
him. I got
like this is the modern era now.
But it just still feels like, from an important standpoint, the ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox.
Yeah.
It feels like you got to be on one of those to be the biggest.
I just think that Conan, and it's weird because like we would argue Jimmy Fallon relates to more of the younger crowds. I think
that's where I thought you guys would
Gordon.
say.
But like with Conan O'Brien, man, like he's at Comic-Con, right? Like he's talking to NFL players. Like he has his toes dipped into so many things where it's like it's impossible not to see him, and you can't just see a clip. You have to see the whole thing through.
Which one's most bizarre?
Out of
all of them.
Most bizarre.
Well, because listen,
Conan
you have to have.
pretty bizarre.
Listen,
you
you're
know
not
what's
normal
bizarre?
if you're doing that
Dude,
job.
I'll tell you what. Who also I enjoyed some nights too. It was the Late Late Show. I think maybe Seth Meyers took over for it. Did you ever watch Craig Ferguson?
Yeah.
Dude, I like Craig Ferguson was
like
out
him.
there, man. Well, dude, his co-host was a talking skeleton with like a suit jacket on. Like it was out there, but Craig Ferguson to me was the bizarre one.
It's funny because I still, depending on what's on in the sports office,
Yeah.
there's many a nights I'll still be there at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and these are on.
Yeah.
Depending on what channel you had on. Usually it's CBS 47, Fox 30, but. Sometimes it will be on a game then it goes to that at whatever time. So I probably watch more of it. It's not like assignment television.
Sure.
But it just doesn't seem like there was. They used to be. Leno and Letterman were so big.
Yeah.
And these guys, I think they're more talented than them. To be honest with you,
Well,
I really do.
No,
I think they're more
dude,
talented.
You're absolutely right because there was points I think with Letterman where you could see like he just didn't care, man. Like he was just like whatever. Like I'm just gonna go through the motions, collect the paycheck. But like you can tell he wasn't really stoked about talking to some of the guests and having some of the musical acts and stuff like that. But it kind of was what it was. But yeah, I think like as far as the energy is concerned and just like the new segments on location stuff, yeah, these guys are a lot better.
How the heck did I get on this topic? I went from Carmelo Anthony.
You were going to ask me something about basketball. And then
I mean, how did I get here?
We went from the Drive and Dish podcast, not getting a lot of listeners, to who's better, James Gordon or Conan O'Brien.
All right. So anyway, here's where I did want to go. I want to get back to Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Were we so bored with topics yesterday that Carmelo Anthony coming back and playing in the NBA for the first time in 366 days or whatever it was celebrated like Peyton Manning was coming back to the NFL?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. Where does Carmelo Anthony, before I even look up his stats, where does Carmelo Anthony fit in terms of a legacy? Is it from Hall of Fame, great player? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I covered the guy actually when he won a national championship in Syracuse.
Dang.
With Syracuse, I covered that team.
Course. Yeah.
They came through Albany and they were only 2 hours away from Albany, so that was a big deal. He was an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
And I know he's been a great player at times, but to me, he went into the abyss with the Knicks, right? And I just would sit there and tell you, why do I care if Carmelo Anthony's coming back? I feel like he's washed up. He's whatever. Like, I don't think that's that big of a story, yet the NBA celebrated that story like he was, again, like Kobe Bryant coming back. I mean, I know that's a stretch. But I just don't understand why they hyped that up. Was it just a dull day?
I think, if you look at the history of Carmelo, Kuz, and I'll let you answer. If you look at that draft, like Carmelo was one of the most coveted prospects. Obviously, went number 3. Well, who was number 1? LeBron James. And then obviously number 2 was Darko Milicic to Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. Kuz, might want to double check that. But, to me, Carmelo always seemed like, especially in the NBA, Brent, where it's all about being able to take the game over, right? Like, why is Giannis right now? Why is he so popular? So, he's like almost 7 foot, and he's a point guard and stuff like that. But, like, when the ball's in his hands, like, he puts the team on his back. And from Carmelo Anthony's perspective, his style of play, where he's more of that spot-up shooter, he never got a chance to showcase, you know what, this is my team, I'm putting it on my back. Now, yeah, when he was in Denver, he had those moments, but I'm saying from a constant night in, night out, someone had to facilitate the ball to Carmelo Anthony, right? It wasn't like LeBron James creating his own shot, driving the lane. Yeah. And Carmelo didn't really have the crazy dunks as well. He was more of the shooter. So even when you had Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony and the hype was real in Denver, I'll be honest, the Carmelo hype was never really that big to me. And then obviously he gets lost in the shuffle in New York. And then I think he's going to be lost in the shuffle now in Portland as well. So from your perspective, Brent, I think with the way the NBA has evolved now, where it's, driving the lane, taking your own shot, Carmelo Anthony just doesn't do that. So his style of play is just, it's not that captivating.
So is he I'm trying to look up his point. Is he a Hall of Famer? He's a Hall of Famer?
I would imagine.
Based on longevity?
I would imagine he would.
Because he's a star? I mean.
Yeah, he's definitely a big star in the league. And I think a big reason they're excited for him to come back is kind of felt like his career almost was cut short in a way, which sounds wrong, but cut short when he was with the Rockets. They just kind of gave him 9 games and it didn't work, and he became the scapegoat in a way, and they got rid of him. And then he wasn't able to get back in. So it kind of felt like here's a guy who really didn't say, I'm done, and is still able to. Last year for the Rockets had 4 games where he had over 25 or 20 points, I think. So there was still game left, and I think that's why they're excited, because he's considered probably an NBA legend and a big name in the NBA. So to have him back in is why they probably celebrated that.
Kuz, let me go and ask you this, man, because I'm looking at his stats right now. And I want to get your opinion based off the stats. Is he indeed a Hall of Famer, a first ballot kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to read up on it too.
NBA All-Star, which is obviously legit. That shows he's got longevity. 2-time All-NBA second team. Never got NBA first team. 4-time All-NBA third team. Once again, never got first team. In 2013, he was the NBA scoring champion, so most points, and he was part of the All-Rookie first team. And that's it. So say I give those stats to you, but I don't say who it is. I just give you those stats. Does that person make the Hall of Fame?
Well, you forgot one stat, and I think that will change the game. I think he's top 20 in the NBA all-time in scoring.
Yeah. Okay. And that I'll give to you.
So then if you told me the other ones, I'd be like, well, yeah. You're playing in an era where there's a lot of good players, by the way, so making that first team isn't always easy.
Sure.
So I'll give a little bit of that and let him slide. But now you're pushing back to the third team a lot of times in your career. Well, now you're talking about the 12th, 13th, 14th best player to play during your era. That's not very good. But then you tell me top 20 all time. It's kind of like if you would tell me Frank Gore 5 years ago is a Hall of Famer, I would say, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then now, because he's compiled all this yardage and everything else, and now he's, top 5 in yardage?
Yep.
Now he's got to be a Hall of Famer. How do you leave the top 5 guy out and running in yards, not in the Hall of Fame? So,
all right. So from the points leader's perspective, right now, Carmelo Anthony's number 19.
19. So 19th. He's top 20.
Top 20.
Now, people might pass him by at some time, but.
Yeah. But guys, is Paul Pierce a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He might already be in. Is he already in?
I don't know. I don't know who Alex English is.
You don't know who Alex English is?
Is that pretty bad? I'm sorry. He played for Boston?
No, he played for the Denver Nuggets.
In what year?
He was an 80s guy.
Okay, well, I wasn't born yet, so get off me. But he's obviously a Hall of Famer then too?
Yes.
Okay, well then I rest my case, because everybody else, in the top 20, they are Hall of Famers.
Who's right behind Alex English?
So it's Alex English, Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter at number 20, Reggie Miller 21.
Is Vince Carter a Hall of Famer just because he's now playing at age 49 or something?
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's the question. Do you think Frank Gore's a Hall of Famer? Which I do. Longevity? Yeah.
But again, if I had asked you 5 years ago, you would not have said that.
See, I just think, and it's probably not the right thing to do, but based on what... See, to me, a Hall of Famer, it's a lot of stats, right? But it's also what you bring to the game. Okay, and from what Vince Carter brought to the game,
I agree.
The dunk contests,
yes.
The highlights.
It kind of feels like
going
he helped
between
change
the
it.
legs, the honey dip with the elbow in the rim. To me, he revolutionized the ability to dunk. So from that perspective, well, at least for my generation, I get it. Dominique Wilkins and Spud Webb.
No, but he's very Dominique-like in that for this era.
But I'm saying for my generation, man, grew up as a kid in the '90s, Vince Carter was that dude.
Yeah.
So based on that alone. Take away the stats, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I would agree, too. I mean, I think he is. But, all right, let me just ask you this way, guys. at the end of the, because I do this with eye test, ear test a lot. And I fully believe that. My initial reaction was, what are we making such a big deal about a guy that nobody wanted to sign him, essentially, and now he's back 366 days later. It's like, great. I mean, it's okay to say, hey, this is kind of cool, Carmelo's back. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not a likable guy, any of those things. I just was like, what are we doing? It must be a slow day. Like, we have nothing to discuss. But let me just ask you this way, because again, I covered him in college. I knew what kind of star he was. I knew where he was drafted. I know he's put up a lot of points. But, in the NBA, man, if you want to score and you take enough shots, you're going to put up points.
You're going to get there.
That's kind of my view on the NBA. I think a lot of people can score points in the NBA. Well, would you say he achieved what everybody thought he would achieve? Was he an underachiever or an overachiever? If I gave you multiple choice. Overachiever, right on the money, or underachiever? A, B, or C?
To me, he's right on the money because he's been doing what he's been doing since college. Like he never really evolved to the guy that could facilitate his own shot and go off the drive. He's always been that shooter. And his game has kind of, just stayed the same. Now, yeah, granted, maybe his numbers have gotten better over the years, but I think his game style-wise has stayed the same. So then it begs the question, why are we so excited for Carmelo Anthony to be back? And I compare it to like this, and it actually fits our conversations today, Brent, a little earlier perfectly, where we talk about the millennial generation, and sometimes people want to attach their boat or people want to go on Twitter and talk smack. Well, also sometimes on social media especially, is that we kind of create these folk heroes for no reason. And with Carmelo Anthony's career, especially when he was in Oklahoma City and then Houston, like the biggest thing within Houston was like, is he going to play? How is he going to get along with Russell Westbrook? Well, then it didn't work out in Houston. And when he exited Houston, I think he became a folk hero just because of how that transpired, of all the discombobulation that was going on that Houston Rockets team. I think it almost boosted Carmelo's stock a little bit.
Yeah.
And now, maybe.
That's kind of what Kuz said, and that's why the return, right?
Yeah, exactly. And listen, is he going to drop 30 a game? Probably not. But I think just people love just kind of, like I said, like the folkiness of it, just the guy that we've been going through all these, I guess reality TV show kind of things with. Like people want to be in that guy's corner, so that's why I think he's so popular to people.
Yeah, it's interesting. It just it really struck me. We don't talk a lot of NBA,
no,
but him, I was like, wow, what is going on here with Carmelo Anthony? And there's just so many. There's a lot of good players in this era of basketball. Yeah, that's another thing he runs into. If he had, I don't know if he had played, but I mean, the last 15 years. We got a ton of stars in the NBA in the last 15 years. I mean, it's been unbelievable in that kind of context. Steven wants to jump in, talk a little bit about Carmelo Anthony. We don't get a lot of NBA calls here on the show, so I love it. What's up, Steven?
No, it's the NBA Hall of Fame, or it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, which includes college and the Olympics. So he's got his Olympic gold medals to back
Good
him
point.
up too.
And a national championship. That's a very good point.
He does.
Yeah. All right. Well, how about from an NBA Hall of Fame stand, or just an NBA career? Would you, if I gave you the three choices, like I just gave these guys, would you say overachieved, achieved what everybody thought he would, or underachieved?
He's underachieved in the NBA, but he's got a great basketball legacy in total, but underachieved in the NBA.
All right, appreciate your thoughts, Steven. Thanks for checking in and calling. What? You never answered this, Kuz.
That's actually what I was going to say. I would say you look at the guys he was drafted with. He was drafted over D-Wade and Bosh. And LeBron went right before him, or went two before him, essentially. But those guys in that draft class, you look at them, they've got rings, they won, they did it.
Yeah.
He never won, and he was top three, so when you're top three, you're kind of expected to be the guy that takes the team to that spot in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's what Austin said.
And so that's why I would say underachieved.
Was Milicic number 2 that year then?
Yes, Milicic was number 2.
Yeah.
And also it does, and I've never been a big believer because I grew up a Dan Marino fan, that you need a ring to try. Like Dan Marino to me is still considered one of the great quarterbacks of all time, and he never won a ring, never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Only went that one time, and that was it. But it does speak a little bit to like a Dwayne Wade. Like, would you say, take the rings away, better player in the NBA, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony?
I'm taking D Wade all day.
I'm taking D Wade.
But are you
From the
influenced?
offense and deep.
Are you influenced because of his titles?
Probably a little bit.
Those help, but I think
because he was a second fiddle guy.
To who? Shaq? Talking about D Wade was?
Well, the LeBron and Shaq.
But don't forget though, D Wade won a title without LeBron.
But he had Shaq.
He had Shaq, but Shaq, I don't know if Shaq was in his prime. Like, listen, go back to. I think D Wade that year they won the championship was the Finals MVP for a reason.
Fair enough.
If I'm not mistaken.
Fair enough.
But I think from the offensive and defensive sides, I think D Wade was more complete. So
that's good.
I would roll with D Wade for sure.
I'm just trying to take the context of the rings out of it.
Yeah,
that's my
course.
point. You know.
Yeah. Well, but
because Wade's career, Wade has gone to another echelon. One, because he's linked with LeBron.
Correct.
I think even the whole friendship thing. The first thing when you say Dwayne Wade, and by the way, I think he's an unbelievable player, great player. But I don't think that about Carmelo Anthony. I wouldn't say that. But I think my vision is kind of like, well, he's buddies with LeBron and LeBron and him and how he's so classy and everything in Chicago and then going back to Miami and how he's revered in Miami. Like, is there a place that Carmelo Anthony is revered if he goes back to Denver?
I bet Denver probably loves him. I mean, he gave him a lot of good years.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. I don't know. But I mean, the love that Miami showed him.
That's over the top, yeah.
Oh, for sure. But as they should, man.
But again, championships matter. Championships matter.
Absolutely. See, go ahead, Kuz.
Well, no, go with your point, because this was just an observation I made about that draft.
So, but here's the thing, though, Brent. So, Dan Marino, one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. No one's going to dispute that. And the fact that he didn't win a Super Bowl, it doesn't hurt him at all. Why? Because he needed 10 other guys on offense to help out. He needed 11 other guys on defense to be complete. In the NBA, it's different. In the NBA, championships mean everything because we saw what Kawhi Leonard did last year, Brent. Kawhi Leonard really won an NBA championship by himself. Now, he had the role players to help him out, but that was Kawhi Leonard's team. Therefore, Kawhi Leonard won the NBA championship. With Carmelo Anthony, he was never that guy to will a team to win a championship. He wasn't like a LeBron James. He wasn't like a D Wade when D Wade went without LeBron James or Chris Bosh. So from that perspective, championships are important because if you're that star player, if you're that once-in-a-generation type player, you have to will your team to win a championship.
Well, especially when you're comping them to guys that have done it.
Correct.
And that's part of it. All right, before we get to break, let's go hit the happy hour. You got one final thought, Kuz?
Well, what's crazy...
With your 76ers shirt on?
Yes, with my 76ers shirt on. No, a crazy observation. So LeBron James was in this draft. Luke Walton was also in this draft.
That's pretty wild.
Luke Walton was the man back then.
Luke Walton was in that draft. He's coached the team and been fired.
Now on the Kings.
He was
coaching the Kings.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when the college basketball season dropped. Like, he was going to be the man. I remember his tattoo of the skeletons he had.
Kuz, let's happy hour Hornet before we hit the break.
Nobody come between us. Can't make nobody come between us. Oh, cherry baby.
As the careless party now begin, see the beautiful ladies marching in. There's enough for everyone to win. We're gonna make this party the best thing happening. This is my favorite place. Nothing will replace, no. Nothing. Anything goes, gangsters rolling, half-face smiling, heads over, think of the rhythm, what you're drinking. Anything goes. Hey.
Grab a drink, get a shot, tip your star tender.
Hey, Vita De Luis recently got a 98 rating. Check out VitaDeLuis.com for all the locations and where you can get it and all the new flavors as well, including Reposado and Añejo. And a big event coming up Thanksgiving weekend at the Lemon Bar in Jax Beach, of course, Thanksgiving Day. A break before the family get-together featuring a Vita De Luis Bloody Mary and a Vita De Luis Apple Ginger Cocktail.
I'm going to be there.
Kuz is starting to raise his eyebrows. And you're going to be there.
I'm already going to be there because, every Thanksgiving there's a block party there, and we haven't missed one yet with me and my friends. So I'll see you guys there.
All right. Sample feature drinks from 9 until noon.
I like it.
How about that? Vita De Luis will be there. Yeah. Check out lemonbarjax.com for more information. But Vita De Luis Thanksgiving weekend at the Lemon Bar. Go check it out. Bloody Mary Apple Ginger Cocktail with little Vita De Luis. VitaDeLuis.com for more locations, flavors, merchandise, and everything you need to know. We'll be back, and I promise, Double D, Dave, we'll get back to the Jags talk right after this on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A pretty cool night tonight. Grab your sweaters and jackets under clear skies. We'll drop into the 40s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you can get 20% off store-wide, including loose diamonds with special financing, only at Beard's Diamonds. In an ocean of car dealers, there's only one Atlantic Infinity. The Infinity Winter Sales Event features the all-new 2020s, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, loaded with luxury and convenience that will delight and amaze you, with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto delivering exceptional touchscreen command of email, music, text, games, and maps. Now, the Infinity Winter Sales Event at the one and only Atlantic Infinity's new showroom. Call for a test drive, 642-0200. Atlantic Infinity, 10980 Atlantic Boulevard.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with an experienced real estate team with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME.
Florida, CQ 1057788.
Minimum fee may apply. Not licensed in all 50 states. Visit rexhomes.com to see if Rex is available in your area. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Trade Pros. Ferguson is committed to making business with us the easiest part of your day. Ferguson.com is designed to help run your business from the office to the job site by making your day-to-day activities easier with 24/7 account access, unmatched online inventory, and on-the-go account management. And with our Pro Plus customer loyalty program, you can earn points with every online purchase, redeemable for merchandise, event tickets, trips, and more. Sign up today at Ferguson.com.
'Twas the holiday season, and in your garage, a brand new John Deere. That's not a mirage. With neighbors admiring your shiny new ride, it's your year for a Deere to fill you with pride. So if additional offers are what you desire, see our low rates before they expire. Now start up your engines and drive out of sight. New John Deere equipment for all, and to all a good night. Make it your year for a Deere. See your John Deere dealer today to discover more amazing deals and attractive financing offers.
If you're tired of wearing glasses or contact lenses, call Meta Vision at Florida Eye Specialist, 268-EYES. They believe when it involves your eyes, you deserve the very best. Just ask golf professional Todd Bork.
I thought about LASIK for years, and I just finally got to the point where I'm getting older and I'm frustrated. I'm wearing distance glasses. Now it's raining, and that just doesn't work at all. I've tried contacts and failed miserably. Can't get them in and out of my eyes. So I just said, you know what? I'm not able to read the greens the way I think I need to. I want to do this for my golf and for myself. But I'm thrilled that I had it done. I can actually see to drive without glasses, and I can see the golf ball, and that's very important to me.
See why thousands of patients have chosen Meta Custom Vision and Florida Eye Specialist for their eyes. Call 268-EYES or online at metalaser.com. Hurry before your HSA or Flex spending accounts expire at the end of the year. Your eyes deserve the very best. Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist, 268-EYES.
eyes.
Tax problems can be extremely stressful and cause financial devastation. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Jacksonville to be your personal advocate and resolve your IRS or state sales tax issues. J. David Tax Law focuses on your needs and case outcomes. Don't be fooled by these big out-of-town tax companies that only focus on getting you to sign up and pay without even working with an attorney. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit-down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777. Peace of mind only a click or phone call away, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
First Coast No More Homeless Pets Veterinary Hospital provides premium veterinary care for less. 7 days a week, a full range of services with compassionate care. Pet owners shouldn't have to choose between paying bills or a healthy pet. Call 425-0005, 425-0005, or fcnmhp.org.
Our partners at BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country, would like to thank all of the coaches out there who truly are the heart of the game. While BSN Sports is the best at equipping athletes with a one-stop shop for everything needed to run an athletic program, coaches are the best at equipping lives. And that's the real final score. Learn more about how BSN Sports can save you time off the field so you can impact more lives on it by calling your local BSN Sports sales professional or by visiting bsnsports.com today.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
What's up, Jacksonville? Angie here, president of Angie Staffing. If you're finding it harder and harder to find the right candidates or your ads are letting you down, call me, Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. I have over 20 years of experience right here in Jacksonville. I can help with anything, accounting, finance, legal, even that one position that's impossible to fill. Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. We're bringing back the hustle.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Beards Diamonds has been Jacksonville's trusted jeweler for 39 years.
And to celebrate another year of stellar service, Beards is offering an incredible 20% off everything store-wide.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
And we'll continue to talk about Leonard, but he hammers people on Twitter. Heck, if Doug Marrone was on Twitter, he'd probably rib him too. Yeah. I mean, it's he can get away with it.
Catch Brent and Austin weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I think the coaches have spoken to him. I think that, obviously it's, we want to be more balanced than that, at least when, it's, at whatever points in the game, what I'm saying, when it's still going on. But, it's just something that, like I said before, I made a mistake with.
That's Doug Marrone talking about Leonard Fournette, kind of the conversations that go on. I'm interested in that part. Jaguars and Titans, of course, coming up on Sunday. How do they fix this thing? I was really concerned with the Jaguars going into that game last week, and I said this a couple times on the show. They are in a good place, right? They are calm, cool, collected. I think Najee Good on Jaguars All Access last week even said we got a little swag to us, even though we're 4-5. It might not make sense to other people, but we feel good. They're healthy. All those things add up. But I said, and I warned, I was like, listen, if they lose and they go to 4-6, it can change on a dime inside that building. And the building gets tight. People are in a bad mood. This sucks, all that stuff. And who knows if that's happening, but it can happen. Yeah. And I think their performance this week will say kind of a lot of where they're at mentally. But I got a question for you, Austin Lane. You know, when you have a player like Leonard Fournette and you give him the ball 8 times and you totally abandon the run, even though he's one of the best in the NFL. And by the way, these things matter, okay? Leading the AFC in rushing, going to the Pro Bowl, getting touches. He's very frustrated that he only has 1 touchdown. I think he's made that pretty known, and I get it. So all those things, you already have a player that's aware of this stuff. He put on all this work to have a big year, and he's having a big year, and then you don't give him the ball. What I'm curious about are the conversations that now take place this week with that player. Is that a rare occurrence? Is that a common occurrence? And there is some explaining that needs to be done when you have a player like Fournette and you did not really utilize him on Sunday. Is there something to respecting that player that you have to have conversations, bring them in? And are those common things that happen on a weekly basis, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, so it's funny because most teams, I think probably every team, they have, whether it's captains or just guys that have been ingrained in the culture for a while, you know, it's like a leadership committee, right? And they meet every single week, try to kind of get a gauge of where the team morale's at and where everyone's at in general as a football player. But usually that's more just about like how you guys feel and, you know, how your body's holding up. It's never about like how the game plan was. So to answer your question, I don't think it happens a lot, right? Where maybe like in pregame, I was like, hey man, it's your time to shine today. We're gonna give you the ball a lot. You know, I hope you're hungry. Like I can see that. But from a perspective of play calling after the game, to meet with the guy and be like, man, we didn't give you the ball enough. Like we have to be better. I mean, that had to happen with Fournette, obviously, because he's arguably your best offensive player on the team. And he deserves some kind of justification of what happened, right? Because I don't care if you're on defense or not, whatever. If you're one of the best players on the team, Brent, and you don't get an opportunity to shine, you're owed an explanation. So to answer your question, no, it doesn't happen a lot, but it had to happen with Leonard Fournette and Doug Marrone.
And Fournette, I think, is a guy that can I don't know if it's true. I want to be a little careful. I don't want to say go in the tank is kind of like too much of a that's an overstatement. That doesn't sound good. But I just think he can get down on it quick. Like you could see it. He didn't want to answer questions after. He was like, talk to the coaches. Like, I think you need to have those conversations with Leonard Fournette, like really quick too, like on the team plane or whatever.
Right after the game.
Like you got to know your players. And my point is, if you didn't feed DJ Chark the football and he wanted it more, or Chris Conley, but he wanted it more, and over these whatever months I've been open. You know, that's part of football. They might get it more than others, and I don't even know if you owe that to either one of those guys. But when it's so drastic, and you also have a guy that you know how hard he's worked to put himself in this position, you know, just as a different circumstance. One, because of the pass to run ratio was so out of whack.
Yeah.
He's having a really good season. And you know the work that's been put in. So you take all those comments. You better go massage that relationship a little bit, I guess is what I'm getting at. I think there's whether he was going to respond negatively or positively, I think you have to do that as a coach, whether it's John DeFilippo, whether it's Doug Marrone, whether it's even Nick Foles, and go over there and say, man, we got to get you the dang ball more, right?
And you know what? You're absolutely right, but it is interesting, Brent, because at least the teams that I've been on and the coaches that I played for and the cultures that I've been a part of, and let's be honest, a lot of those teams weren't really that good. the sense was never the fact, especially on defense, because that's what I played, where somebody would come in and be like, you know what, that's on me. We have to put you guys in better positions to succeed. It was more about, you guys need to do this better. You guys need to execute better. You guys need to focus better. So it's almost like there's definitely an ego involved with coaching sometimes. And as bad as this may sound, I don't think a lot of coaches want to admit blame and admit that maybe they were wrong. But once again, when we're talking about Leonard Fournette only getting 8 rushes, I mean, you can't justify it, right? So if you're a coach, you have to come forward and say, and it has to happen on the plane, Brent, right after the game. But here's the catch-22 about that then, Brent. So say you're John DeFilippo. Say you're Doug Marrone after that Colts game. You guys just got beat. You guys got mollywopped. Leonard Fournette gets the ball 8 times. You're sitting on the plane, you go to Leonard Fournette, whether you're offensive coordinator or you're the head coach. Leonard, man, you know what? This one's on me because we can get you the ball enough. If I'm Leonard Fournette, number one, I'm still frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
That doesn't make me feel better.
I haven't got over it. But number two, I'm asking, why didn't you? Why didn't you give me the ball then? You know, it's as simple as that. Because I get it. Towards the end of the game, the game got out of control, and you had to pass. I understand that aspect. But
for 3 quarters, you didn't have to.
But to completely neglect one of your best players in your team, and I say literally just neglect him. If I'm Leonard Fournette, I'm like, that's cool and everything, but still, I want an explanation why it didn't happen. Like, you can say, I'm sorry, but why? Like, give me an explanation why.
And I would think that would have to be part of it. I mean, because quite frankly, I believe we all asked the same thing Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, still asking today. I said yesterday on the show, you know, their defense gave up 264 yards. The fans and a lot of people are rolling their eyes at Todd Wash, but I can guarantee you the guy that got the most eye rolls in that building on Monday, I think, was John DeFilippo because of how he handled it. So he's not. My point is, Fournette's not alone in asking why. And I would think part of the conversation is here. Here's the deal. We thought this. It was wrong. Well, I mean, what do you want to do? You can't go back.
But no, I get you can't go back, Brent. But he's your best player, probably. I mean, I know DJ Chark's up there, but to me, he's the best player on offense.
Oh, he's no doubt the best player on offense.
So I get it. Maybe you had a different game plan, but to not give your best player the football and to say maybe like, oh, we forgot. No, this isn't like a Kevin McAllister Home Alone situation where you just forgot Kevin at home and, oh, no, we forgot Kevin at home. No, Leonard Fournette's on the sidelines, man. You know he's there, so why didn't he get the ball? And I feel like there's no justification to a right answer. All you're going to say is, we thought Nick Foles could win us the game. That's the only explanation I could ever understand. And even at that standpoint, to put the game in Nick Foles' hands, I still don't understand, Brent.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Nicely done. Easy on the Pepsi.
I think, I guess what I'm saying is, once I come up to you as coach and you're Leonard Fournette, and I say, listen, we effed up. I mean, I can't believe this is what it is. 47-9. We screwed it up. We thought we could attack them with the pass, maybe open up the run. It didn't work, but we should have gone back to the run. We're sorry. You know, we gotta fix that. That's totally on me. I mean, it's not going to make you feel better, but it's totally on me.
Sure.
I don't. Outside of that, you got to accept it. I mean, what else is there to do?
So, it is what it is.
And they got to fix it. And they got to go maybe the other way now, because now they got to feed the cat. I think there's a responsibility for the NFL guys sometimes, especially, again, you're your own brand. You know, it's a big year. He put a lot into this year. He needs to now make up those carries.
Yeah.
It might not all come this week, but over the course of the rest of the season, he needs to make up those carries. They need to get him the football in the end zone, near the end zone. There's a little bit of that goes into it, especially if you're not even in the playoff mix. Then you start getting them the ball even more. By the way, one other note, Vida de Louis, you can go see Cam at Ponte Vedra Liquors, first liquor store to carry in Yeho and Reposado, and that started today, right near the Winn-Dixie at Solana Road, so go see Ponte Vedra Liquors. When we come back, we put a bow on the show. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're going to go rapid fire because I had a couple of topics to get to. It's next.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. Thank you for listening to ESPN 690.
Phil Aitken with Aitken Home Team Keller Williams Realty is Jacksonville's real estate authority. If you have a question about real estate, call 500-PHIL. Need to buy or sell a home? Call 500-PHIL. Phil's results are staggering, and he's knocking it out of the park for his sellers. Phil recently sold the home at 314 Morel in just 6 days. He sold the home at 429 Panacea before it even hit the market. The 5-star reviews go on and on. Here's the point. If you're selling your home now or in the future, call Phil Aitken. He'll help you maximize the sale of your home. Phil has thousands of families who are ready to buy a home today, and Phil will sell your home at a price agreeable to you, or he'll buy it himself, guaranteed in writing. Don't risk losing money or precious equity on the sale of your home, or hire just any agent. Make the call and hire the only agent who will guarantee your success in writing every time. Phil Aitken is ready to help now at 500-PHIL. That's 500-PHIL, or visit philhasthebuyers.com. That's philhasthebuyers.com, and start packing.
Hey, boss, pass the peanut butter, will you?
Here. You know, I still can't believe we're eating PB&J for dinner.
Well, times are tough for us crooks. I mean, we can't find any houses to rob because they all have Safe Touch security signs.
Ugh. Just pass the jelly, will you?
Cheer up, boss. 'Tis the season to be thankful.
I'd be thankful if I had earplugs. Now pass the jelly.
No, think about it, boss. Since we stay away from Safe Touch houses, we never have to worry about that 45-second or less response time or the two-way communicators. I'm thankful for that. So, what are you thankful for?
I'd be thankful if Lester Jackson moved to Alaska and took Safe Touch with him. Hey, you used up all the jelly.
What? Oh, sorry, boss. Here, you want a bite of mine?
Oh, I hate Safe Touch.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Locally owned and operated businesses give our community character by offering unique options for shopping and dining.
They are a big part of what makes living in the 904 so great.
Shop the 904.
Powered by Cox Media Group.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker dazzles this Christmas. Bring the whole family together for the original holiday tradition. Step into a simpler time filled with sweet dreams and spectacular magic. Experience world-class artists, stunning costumes, and towering puppets on the Gift of Christmas tour. It just wouldn't be Christmas without Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. Get tickets now at nutcracker.com.
Appearing at the Florida Theater December 22nd. Get your tickets today at nutcracker.com.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Small business owners, it's been a great year, and now it's time to begin to make some end-of-year decisions. Instead of giving your hard-earned money to the tax man, consider reinvesting in your business with a quality pre-owned truck, van, or commercial work vehicle from Jacksonville Truck Center. With the largest selection of pre-owned work vehicles in North Florida and easy commercial financing, let us be your one-stop shop to get the job done today. We're on the corner of Arlington Expressway and Southside Connector. Stop by today or visit us at JacksonvilleTruckCenter.com.
The Stephen A. Smith Show.
I don't know what would make him think I would care about it. I don't give a damn whether I'm blocked on Instagram or not. Not like I tried to Instagram him directly. Ain't nobody thinking about trying to post something on his page.
The Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I think he's playing extremely well. I mean, I faced him 4 times when we were in Buffalo, where right now I think he's playing better than I've ever seen him play. You know, he's percentage in the red zone. He could scramble. He could run. He's throwing it into tight windows. He's playing very well.
That's Doug Marrone on Ryan Tannehill. You're afraid of Ryan Tannehill, aren't you? Are you okay over there? Are you looking at jerseys?
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw the
Did the NBA
new
come out with a
Milwaukee-
bunch of new jerseys?
Well, no, so every single year they have a thing called like the NBA City Edition jerseys. So it's kind of like an alternate jersey, basically. I just saw the Milwaukee Bucks one, and that's going to be a winner. Cream City coming at you. But yes, to answer your question, am I afraid of Ryan Tannehill? No. But
you've been very complimentary of
well,
him.
because let's be honest, Brent, the Titans right now, they're in playoff contention, and a lot of that has to do with Ryan Tannehill. I think when Mariota went out, it kind of sparked something for whatever reason, and I don't have the answer for you, but it sparked something in their offense. You know, all of a sudden now A.J. Brown's starting to become more of a viable option, and when Corey Davis comes back, I assume he'll be a viable option. Jonnu Smith, who I never heard of before until this season, has been a viable option at the tight end spot. So I just think Ryan Tannehill is not necessarily winning games, but he's not losing them either. So I'm not afraid of him, though, Brent.
Good.
I'll fight him if I have to. Well, what's up? Are we going to travel to Nashville on Sunday? I'll go.
I'm not going, no.
Let's make that trip.
Here's a crazy stat on Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
10 for 10 in red zone opportunities.
As in 10 touchdowns.
That's what I read. 10
Wow.
folks out of Nashville said 10 for 10.
Well,
Now, probably not
you know
getting
what?
in there enough.
Now I'm
That's
afraid of him.
That's kind of the story in Tennessee, is they're not getting there enough.
Sure.
But holy cow, I mean, he's cashing in when he's getting there, and that's a big stat. I mean, that's a stat we talked about at length with the Jags not being able to get in there and getting it done. So that's your crazy Ryan Tannehill stat. A couple quick hitters. Jimmy Johnson, NASCAR champ, 07-time, and retiring in 2020, one final ride. He's been kind of like off the radar. I expected this to come soon. A lot of guys at his age over the years now, from Dale Jr. to Carl Edwards to Jeff Gordon to whatever, when they get up to about the mid-40s, I think it is, they say, okay, I'm about done. And Jimmy Johnson's in great shape. He loves to run and bike and all this stuff. But he's hanging it up after one final ride in 2020, be remembered as one of the greats of all time.
Well, and that's the thing. He definitely is one of the greats of all time. But in my opinion, he was born in the wrong era. Because if you put him back with Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, or even go before that, he's probably the greatest driver ever, Brent. I mean, this is a guy who literally won 5 consecutive NASCAR championships.
Yeah.
5.
They had it figured out, which is kind of crazy that they've fallen off so much, because they had it all going.
And to be fair, though, I mean, like, and I get it. And NASCAR, as a sport in general, it's not as big as it used to be. But I think he was born in the wrong era. But props to him, though.
I think he'll take this era with the success that he had.
He'll take any era, but I'm just saying, if you win those championships back in Gordon's era, yeah, you're the best of all time.
Great driver, Hall of Famer, of course, for sure, for Jimmy Johnson. College Football Playoff Committee, just a real quick thought on that. That happened last night, the rankings. It was,
you okay?
Yeah, the Alabama thing where they're sitting is okay. I thought of two things, though. One, what's really interesting, if Oregon wins their Big 12 championship and they get pitted against Alabama for that final spot, say Georgia gets kicked out.
Yeah.
So it looks like Oregon, whoever that wins that Pac-12, will be able to jump ahead.
Oregon or Utah. Yeah.
But if you go back and look, Oregon will have lost to Auburn, and that would mean Alabama would have beaten Auburn. And so that's the head-to-head kind of matchup you're looking at, even though one was at the early part of the season, one's at the late part of the season.
Yeah.
Be very interesting to see how that plays, especially if Alabama plays really well and with Mac Jones, and they look okay without Tua. Going in right now, you're like, no chance. Oregon's going to hurdle them regardless, even if they beat. They might win that Auburn game, but by a field goal or a touchdown or whatever. But if they look super impressive with Mac Jones, and Auburn, and that's what you're measuring, I still think Oregon probably gets in because I think they'll value the Big 12 championship. And I think they're really trying to get the Pac-12. The Pac-12 championship, I think they're trying to get the Pac-12 in there, quite frankly.
Oh, of course.
The other thing I thought of is, but keep in mind, Alabama's only loss, and I have not been a big Alabama fan here, but their only loss would be to number 1 LSU.
Well, and to prove the point of your team that you picked for the playoff, Utah, they got beat by USC.
Who's now in the top 25, but it's not a good whatever. Look. Yeah. And my other thought, Big 12 looks like they're out. Oklahoma or Baylor, they're too far down. I don't know if they get back into it. You got to stay in your lane. Hurry up.
Coos, hit it real quick, and then... All right, turn it off. Turn the car off. It's not starting. All right. I I see you with a little gamesmanship. So, okay, 1 minute. Cruise control real quick. Tony Khan going out to you. This is cruise control and pump your brakes. Tony Khan's been on Twitter, man, and he's been feuding. CM Punk started out by saying that it's weird to catch up on 5 years of wrestling, of being out of it. But I'm here to say that I'm going to do my best, basically, to summarize it. He tagged Tony Khan and Vince McMahon in it, 2 owners of 2 different wrestling companies. Smart move on CM Punk's part. Tony Khan responds, "No one is safe. Sounds like a plane full of wrestlers in Saudi Arabia." Direct KO directed towards the WWE. But he wasn't done there. Randy Orton from the WWE comes back and says, "What's this whole thing about glass houses and stones?" He shared a story about Jaguars owner Shad Khan being investigated for corruption. Remember that old story?
Brought his dad
it was
into
false. Yeah. Tony Khan responds, "I thought you only tagged me in your posts when you were grasping for leverage. The article's over a year old. It's about as baseless claims have made about my dad that happened years ago. That's the best you can do? Nothing. Meanwhile, in the time since that was written, you used the N-word on Twitch." Which he did. So Randy Orton KO'd. Or should I say RKO'd?
Yeah, I mean, how about that? Because
but what about Tony Khan being the owner of a business and you're going lethal on people?
Well, hey, in that business you can do it, it feels like, more so than maybe the other ones, whether it's football or the soccer.
And you know what? And with all due respect to Randy Orton, who I'm a big fan of, but don't go after someone's family like that, man.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
That was a knockout punch from Tony Khan.
Tony Khan
said he won. It was over.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So was our show.
knockout.
We'll see you on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Right now at T-Mobile, when you buy any Samsung Galaxy S10 or Note 10, you get one free when you add a line. And a new phone makes hosting for the holidays easier than ever. Because we give you unlimited data, so your nephew can stream music like this.
Play Silent Night, Death Metal Remix.
Mom, he's playing it again.
And Netflix on us, so Grandma can queue up classics like this.
The Christmas Chronicles, Klaus, or Narcos.
Okay, no more eggnog.